How are we, guys? Welcome to this watch along today. So, give me 1 second. I must open this. Hold on 1 second. I have to set up my. Screen here. Give me 1 sec. No, so Thrill House Road. Hey Fab, Eternal MMA last night on the Goldie was insane. Front row head kick KOs makes you appreciate you don't play MMA. Coaches think little strikes don't hurt. Should hear up close. Laugh out loud. Oh, couch coaches don't hear. Yes, this is one of the big things, man. When I talk guys that I'm actually coaching a couple of young guys now that have bright future ahead of them. I don't want to put too much pressure on them, but it's one of those things that people really don't understand. Like they don't get like it's not a game. People get hurt. You can die in there. You know, it's not okay. There's a lot of things I disagree with. I don't necessarily agree like with some of the things where you do like 6-week training camp and then you can go fight someone. I don't agree with that. Like for beginners and that, because it's an inherently dangerous situation. So that's something I don't necessarily agree with. Might not be a popular thing to say, but yeah, I don't think it's anywhere near like a real fight anyways. So that's my thoughts on that. Super dangerous, man. SG says no shave November, and I'm gonna shave today. I've just been in the trenches with my kids. My 2-year-old doesn't want to sleep now. She's a bit sick. No, she's not. You know what? They're actually good sleepers. I can't complain. They just lately, all of them have been sick. Everyone, my wife and my kids, all of them have been sick. And so it's been an absolute nightmare. I've probably been sleeping, I don't know, 3 hours a night for the last, I don't know how long. So it's been brutal, man. It's been absolutely, absolutely brutal. So, yeah. So what have we got here? I'm looking forward to today's fights, to be honest with you. I'm actually really, really looking forward to I'm a big fan of Caio Barolo. Big fan of his. I really like the way that he fights. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to his fight in particular. Okay, let me see. Make sure that we've got the right fights on here. Having a little bit of trouble getting my screen up here. SG says Canadian folks get a good card finally. What do you mean? Oh, for UFC 297. Okay, I see. We'll have some on my mooncake if you people were okay with this. I can't get my screen up. So now I'm really looking forward to the card in particular, like I said, in particular for Baralo. I'm interested to see what he can bring as he's moving up, moving up the ladder, so to speak, like I'm really looking forward to that. I think he's a very well-rounded fighter. He started off in judo, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does against Magomedov. Magomedov, man, he's dangerous. That first round, he's very, very dangerous for Magomedov. Majority draw, Dos Santos and Renat Fakhretdinov. Very, very interesting. I'm not going to comment on it too much. It's just I do think Dos Santos is a very underrated fighter. I picked Renat to get the job done, but obviously he didn't get it done, so to speak. But yeah, very interesting. Now we have Elvis Brina versus Khrushchevsky, and then we have at middleweight, like I said, Caio Baralo versus Abus Magomedov. That's going to be a very interesting fight. I do think Caio is going to get it done. Sorry, man, I'm so broken that Rodolfo Vieira and Armin Petrosian aren't fighting. That was a fight that I was really looking forward to as well. Like those two those two matchups, I was really looking forward to that, and they've been pulled off the card. That's really destroyed the card for me, to be honest with you, because they're the two fights that I wanted to watch. I'm gutted. SG says, I am talking about Chinese mooncakes. I am. It's one of the benefits of being married to Chinese people that, and I say people because the whole clan is here. I can ask for that to be made, even if it's not in season, so to speak. So, yeah, I can't get the screen up, eh? It's a like a cake that Chinese people eat for New Year's, for Chinese New Year's. And that's in answer to young Harry. SG says they're incredibly high in calories but delicious. Yeah, they're so densely put together. You know, they're really, really densely put together, really rich in calories. Honestly, I think it's a really good food to take with you if you're hiking or something. It's so high in calories when you eat it, and easy to carry around. Where do you live, SG? Where do you live? I'm so gutted that fight didn't come through. The Armin Petrosian fight. I actually am absolutely gutted. I really wanted to see it. Matt says they are odd ingredients for what we usually like in the US, but they are very good. SG says we've got a large population here in Toronto. Yeah, like we got. I don't know, because I've never bought them. How expensive they are or not. They either make them. My family either makes them, or they're bought by my in-laws. So I have no real gauge as to how expensive they would be if I was to go and buy some. It's not something you just go and buy, but I'm a big fan of the mooncakes, so I like them. I haven't watched the fight with Renat yet. I'm going to, though. Talk to me, Harry. What was it like? I picked him. That Dos Santos guy is very very, very underrated. I'll go through the prelims later on. I'm going to watch him for sure. Just wasn't able to today, but yeah. I don't know, dude. I am now absolutely gutted that Petrosian is sick. Like, I mean, I hope he's all right, but it says here a middleweight bout between Rodolfo Vieira and Armin Petrosian was scheduled, but was scrapped after Petrosian became ill backstage during the event. Man, I really wanted to see that fight. I really wanted to see Vieira versus Armin Petrosian. It was like, you know, almost as classical as you're going to get, like striker versus grappler kind of thing. And I really was looking forward to that. But what are we going to do about that? You know, like I really wanted to see that. I'm like a spoiled little kid. I'm still stuck on really wanting to see that. Harry DeLuca says it was mad. Renat, kept getting kicked in the liver, and the fight was almost stopped. From it in the third. Yeah, man, I want to see that fight. I'm a big fan of Renat Fakhreddin, but this Dos Santos guy, he's got a spinning kick win over Strickland. You know, he's a very, very good fighter as well, very underrated. Matt says, what do you think of Felder coming back for another fight? Apparently training with Nick Sick. I think he had a fine retirement fight with RDA. What do I think of that? of Felder coming back. I mean, if Felder wants to go back, he can go back. I don't know what he wants to do with it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if he, yeah, I don't know. I'm not accusing Felder of anything at all, but I am going to say this, like, without USADA, even with USADA, but without USADA, without that thing, like, I don't know. It's a massive lottery. You know, people will be 36 and people are like, oh my God, he's 41 years old and he's made a comeback. Isn't that unbelievable? And whilst it is, and full credit to him, there is an asterisk there, you know. So I don't know. And I don't know with Felder. Like, if he's, I think Felder's in his mid-30s, if I'm not mistaken. And he's been out of the testing pool. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying, like, it depends. It's hard to gauge age on certain fighters. You know, it's not that simple. Yeah, so he's getting on a little bit. 39 years old is Paul Felder, and at lightweight, in the lighter weights where the skill level's high, 39 years old is pretty. It's getting there, man. It's getting there. I am a fan of his. He had three split decisions in a row. Edson Barboza, Dan Hooker, and Rafael Dos Anjos. And two of them were losses, one was a win. But if it's a split decision, you got to understand, like, then he had Mike Perry. So he had, like, let me say this. He had a loss to Mike Perry, a decision, split. A win to James Vick, decision, unanimous. A win against Edson Barboza, decision, split. A loss to Dan Hooker, decision, split. A loss to Rafael Dos Anjos, decision, split. I don't know, man. That seems to me like that's going to be a big amount of damage on your body. So I don't like the if I was like just looking at it like that from his perspective, I don't think it's that good of a thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of damage in his last few fights. Although it might not look like he took huge amounts of damage, if you go 4 decision wins in a row, 3 of them split decision where it's close enough that both of you did a lot of damage to each other, plus training camps, and you're 39 years old, I don't know. I don't like it. He might win a fight. That doesn't mean that it's thing, but I think you get to a certain age where it's hard for you to do well and compete against these guys. Harry DeLuca says he was a bit dicey on the feet. He's talking about Fakhretdinov. Yeah, no, he's got a heavy right hand that he relies on, that he, tries to sneak in every single time. Every time, people commit to defending the takedown, he throws that right hand down the middle, and he's got heavy hands. Kanan Kraszewski is a guy that doesn't look like his name. You know what I mean? That's not how you expect him to look. You expect him to look Polish. SG says Rico Verhoeven fought today, also defended his title yet again. Harry DeLuca says, saw an interview where Rico was saying he wanted to box and try and do what Ngannou did. Thoughts on old mate's beer belly? Who's beer belly? Who's beer belly, Harry? As far as Rico boxing, I mean, yes, he could. You know what I mean? I don't know that he has the same amount of hype behind him, because say what you want about the UFC creates a massive amount of hype and a massive name behind you. I just don't think you have the same hype behind you as a guy that's not from the UFC. We're about to start, and we're off, guys. Both men in the orthodox stance. Kanan, I'm going to call him Kanan because I don't want to say Kraszewski every single time, versus Brenner. Kanan in the yellow shorts. It's 449, 448, 47, 46, 45. Okay, nice left kick, switch kick by Brenner. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, this is a catch weight fight. A few people missed weight on this as well. So it makes you wonder how ready people are for each fight. They're both guys exchanging. Brenner seems to have caught Kanan with a little left hook there. He's going looking for that calf kick is Brenner. Kanan doing a good job of stalking him, coming forward and trying to own the center of the octagon. Nice feint on the low kick by Brenner. Gets a reaction out of Kanan. Kanan throws a lead right hand. Then he goes looking for a left hook. Brenner skirts out of the way. But Kanan's not doing a good job of cutting off the octagon. He's kind of just following him. Inside left kick by Brenner. It's kind of following him around rather than cut off the octagon. Right hand to the body by Kanan and a switch kick by Brenner. And then he throws a left hand over the top. Does Brenner. Kanan just following him around the octagon. Oh, nice side kick to the leg by Brenner. Brenner's in the southpaw stand, throws a hook, a check hook from that stance. They're both swinging wildly. He catches Kanan with a left hook then from the southpaw stance, goes looking for an outside calf kick, does Brenner. Brenner switches back to orthodox stance. They both trade jabs. Both men in the orthodox stance. 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in this first round of a possible 3. Harry DeLuca says Kanan runs like a madman. He does. Joseph says straight out of the school of weight cut on Michel Pereira. Oh, just whiffs on a left hook. Does Brenner just misses with that left hook. I think he's going to find a home for that left hook through it somewhere in this round even. Kanan's not doing a great job of reading it. It's just been, I think, sheer happenstance that he hasn't caught him with it. Keeps coming, Kanan. He's doing a better job now of cutting off the octagon, but he's still kind of following him around, but he's doing a better job of cutting it off a little bit rather than just following him around. We'll see what happens when the excitement kicks in. Goes looking for a front kick, does Kanan. Now he's back to following inside left kick by Brenner. Brenner's in the southpaw stance. Oh, left high kick by Brenner, taken on the arms by Kanan. The man that does not look like his name. Feints on the kick, does Brenner. Kanan goes looking for a right hand over the top, misses as Brenner ducks under it. Kanan now with his back to the fence. Kanan runs in. He runs in and eats a right hand on the ear. Oh, jumping switch, flying front kick knee by Brenner, all in the same movement. Goes looking. Oh, there's a left hook. Knocks him out cold. Face down. I did say, people, I told you he's going to find a home for that left hook in this round, and that he did. Matt says Brenner is really good at countering in the pocket. Man, he slept him bad. He slept him really bad. You could just see that Brenner was throwing that left hook and he's trying to find ways of setting it up. You could see it. He's trying to throw it from orthodox. He's trying to throw it from orthodox. He's trying to throw it from different like ways, you know what I mean? And he was trying to do it, but and Kanan wasn't picking up on those reads. He wasn't picking up on what this guy's trying to do. And you could see that eventually he threw that. That's that. If you can recognize, that's kind of like that combination we've been working on with that right hand lead. And then you come in and you throw that left hook. You know, it's you cover a lot of distance with that. You cover a real big distance with that combination. It's not as tidy as I like it, but that's exactly what happens. You throw the right hand, and as they throw the check hook, you go underneath and you throw the left hook, and it covers a lot of distance. It's very hard to get the read on it. And he threw it beautifully. Probably not as tidy, but he seems to have good power in his hands, and he knows what he's doing, and he threw it really, really well. You could see he was going to land that left hook at some point in the fight. Bestri says, what were your thoughts on Chael versus Ariel? I missed the stream the other day and not sure if you covered it. I did cover it. Please feel free to go back and have a look at it because I will need the like and I'll need the views. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I think they were just mixing arguments, dude. Like, I think they were just going back and forwards. I don't even know if that was staged, you know. You know what I mean? Because now everyone's talking about it. I don't even know if that's the case. But in a nutshell, I think like there's two things. Yes, now Francis is set to make a lot more money than he would have in the UFC. This is even if he had beat Jones. This is for sure. But if he had gotten his ass beat of Tyson Fury, then like he wouldn't have made more money outside of it, and he wouldn't have gained the notoriety that he would have gained had he have beat John Jones. And this is what they're both like. They're kind of mixing the arguments, and I think there is a bias from Ariel in how he feels about the UFC and how he feels about people in the UFC. And this is evident with him. I'm not even think so. I think that they were mixing arguments. I think that the just a second, guys. Hey, baby, ¿le puedes pedir a mamá que me dé café? Pedile a mamá que me dé café, please. Vení acá y say hola. Come here. Say hello. Hi. Why was I yelling? I was yelling because someone got knocked out. Yeah, like they were boxing and somebody got knocked out. They were fighting. Okay. Can you go downstairs, please? Just go to campus, check it. No, go downstairs. Mommy's calling you. Pedile que me dé café, por favor. Anda. Que me traiga un poquito de café. Ciao. Yeah, so I think that mainly in a nutshell, because I don't want to make the whole show about that. That is in a nutshell what I think the discussion points were about, and they were just mixing arguments, going back and forwards. It was like, I don't know, getting drunk and arguing with your wife or something. Like it was like a weird argument, man. It was so weird. But yeah, like now revisionist history, yes, he went out there, made a ton of money, but you got to understand something as well, like. If you don't have the UFC propaganda machine behind you, you don't have the name. You don't have you're not the person without it. And, unless you're some sort of YouTuber or something like a Jake Paul kind of character. But if not, you got to give the devil their due, like you got to understand that as well. And Francis was already the heavyweight champion of the world. And he was in a position that I don't know him, but I think he was in a position where had he have lost, he would have still walked away with millions of dollars, and would he have been okay with that? And then to ride off into the sunset? Yeah, probably. It's a good gamble, I think, in a way, but not many people would have what Francis had on offer at that point. Harry DeLuca says, yeah, just the same. Harry DeLuca says, just more loopy than we do it. Joseph says, Coach, my friend's first time fighting in the octagon next week and my first time cornering him. Any advice on what to tell him to calm his nerves before his fight? Thanks, Coach. Man, I can't say anything. I can't say I'm not a guru, but I think you got to I'm a big believer, whether it's with my kids or whether it's with my athletes, is in rehearsing situations a lot and understanding that you're not going to calm his nerves, right? You being calm is going to help the situation, but you're not going to calm his nerves. Understand that nerves are there and they're going to be there. Like that's fine. You got to embrace that. Customoto had a quote, and I'm going to butcher it, but it's something along the lines of the other fellow's feeling those nerves too, and motion dissipates tension. So the moment the fight kicks off, the nerves will be gone. So as long as you and him can understand that and explore the fact that those nerves are normal, you're going to have those nerves. It's part of the game, to have the nerves. And not sitting there trying to calm the nerves. It's not it's almost like heartbreak or heartache or there's a death in a family or something like that. You're not going to solve that. You're not going to say to someone, cheer up, It's not going to happen. You're going to feel like shit if there's heartache or thing. And if you're going to get into a fist fight with someone, you're going to be nervous. If you're going to surf big waves, you're going to be nervous. This is normal, and understanding that it's part of the process. But once it kicks off, the nerves will be gone. Sam says, Chael and Ariel are both pro wrestlers. Know exactly what they're doing to generate some buzz. I think so as well. I absolutely think that. I think they fully know what they were doing. I don't think Ariel, I think they texted each other afterwards, had a laugh about it, and they knew what they were going to do. There's no way, the aggression with which, Ariel spoke to Chael, where he's saying, Like even fighters don't talk to each other like that. Like nobody's like, you coward to Chael Sonnen like that, you know? Like especially Ariel Hawani, like saying this to Chael Sonnen is like the only dude that's ever fought John Jones, Anderson Silva twice, and Fedor Emelianenko, and then he's scared to say something, which he did say to Ariel, you know? Now they're just doing it to drum up views. I honestly think that. Then there's probably a bit like where they're both like, you know, I think that they genuinely disagreed on the topic, but I think they took the piss when they were arguing. I really do. I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Joseph. I don't know if it helps. Harry DeLuca says, but look up that quote by Customoto, just so you could be able to find that it's motion dissipates tension and blah, blah, blah. SG says Guru was having a good time reviewing their arguments. He was. He does that. He does that well, man. A shout out to him. I'm really happy for him and really happy to see his channel doing well. You know, good for him. Harry DeLuca says, did you think it seemed like Kanan would rush into space but then just stay there flat-footed? Yes, and I think it was also like he didn't understand like what was happening. I don't know if he didn't understand, but he didn't recognize what was happening. And I think that's what made him like stutter step and be flat-footed. Matt says, Brenner looks really fast and slick. I hope he can carry that through the higher ranks. We're going to see. We will definitely see. Harry DeLuca says, should he be more in and out with his footwork and use more strikes to get in and out? The thing is, Harry, when you look at stuff like that, you can't gauge this because I don't know what he knows. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Does he have the knowledge to use better footwork? Does he have the vocabulary of strikes to be able to engage and use more strikes? Does he have an understanding of ring gentlemanship? You know what I mean? Where he understands where he has to be in relation to that guy. Does he understand the vocabulary strikes of the other guy? I don't know enough about him to be able to give that kind of feedback. Matt says, a guy showed up to my gym today and asked if he can use some sort of chakra manipulation stuff. Have you ever had to deal with any wackos? I have to deal with wackos all the time, dude. Yeah, I just placate them, smile. I don't let them do any physical shit like that, but all the time, dude, all the time in many areas of life and work. Joseph says, thanks, coach. I'm more nervous than him. My stomach doing a circus to the lead up, laugh out loud. Again, thanks, coach. I appreciate it. Yeah, look, man. I think that that's a big thing. Like, you have to be able to control your own emotions. Like, you can't. He's not like a conduit for your emotional outlet, so you can't go out there and be like super crazy, super mad. You know what I mean? You can't be like that. Like, you got to. I think it has to be technical advice if it's needed. If not, you got to let them just go out there and fight. You know, the work by the time you're in there, it's been done. Like, you yelling shit at people and that is not going to get the fight won, if that makes sense. You know, that's not going to get the fight won. So if you can give some technical advice, great. Another thing that I would say to you is this is just, I could be right, I could be wrong, but generally what I think is you have one person that's designated to do the talking, and the talking goes through that person. Because if you have 3 cornermen or 2 cornermen and everyone's screaming, no one's going to hear it. So, and it shouldn't be a whole bunch of stuff. It should be like cues that people have. So, for example, I generally, depends. I could be the person saying stuff, or I might not be the person saying stuff. But if I've got a person here and we've decided before the fight, okay, I'm going to be the guy that says stuff, then he's going to say something to me. He might say calf kick. He's a kickboxing coach. He says it to me, just says it in my ear, calf kick, and I'll yell out calf kick. And that's that. You know, it's not going to be a situation where he's yelling calf kick, I'm yelling takedown. No, there's one person that should be saying that. So that's another little piece of advice that I would give. Let me see what else we got here. Harry DeLuca says, do you know what martial arts what background of martial arts Magomedov has? Are you talking about, I'm just making sure which Magomedov, like, are we talking about? Magomedov, or Sharaputin Magomedov. Just which one? You can't throw out like a Russian name like that, Harry, with no first name. So what do we got here? Richard Wyatt says MMA holes brought me here. Daddy Cowboy in the house. Welcome, people. Welcome everyone from MMA holes. I am not 100% aware of it. I don't think. Can somebody explain MMA holes to me? The greatest show on YouTube. I'm just looking them up now. Awesome. How did this come about? I'm looking up MMA holes. Shout out to MMA holes, guys. Please like and subscribe their channel if you haven't already. How did this end up that MMA holes told you to come here? Shout out to MMA holes. Thank you very much. MX says, Daddy Cowboy in the house. Oh, this guy, this Abus Magomedov. He's like a kickboxing dude, kickboxing guy with wrestling. He can actually wrestle. Sorry, Harry, I didn't know exactly which Magomedov you were talking about. If you're talking about, there's a few of them. There's a lot of MMA holes people here, so I won't be able to read every single one of them. Thank you, guys. Richard White says MMA holes here to show some love. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, MMA holes. Please, guys, from my channel, if you're not aware of MMA holes, please go to their channel and look them up and like and subscribe their channel. If you are from MMA holes, please like and subscribe my channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much, guys. MX says, Mel Gibson likes his channel. Power Structure says, how long till he mentions it? Laugh out loud. How long till I mention what? John Funker says, MMA holes loves you. I love MMA holes as well, sir. I love them too. Wonderful Wonder MMA holes in the house. I might skip a few of you guys. I'm sorry. I just want to get to the fight comments in here. A lot of MMA holes stuff here. Thank you guys very much. Want to get to the conversations about the fights. Magomedov is out here. Yeah, he's worked a lot on his striking, but he also has a wrestling background. Abus Magomedov. Sorry, Harry, I got mixed up with what you were saying. You are a champion, and I apologize. I don't think though he can wrestle. He can definitely wrestle, but he does have a kickboxing background. I looked him up before. But he's kind of like, again, he's one of those dudes. He just doesn't seem to be able to put it all together. Thank you, all the guys from MMA Holes, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I love that you guys rated the chat. Please do so. I may miss a few of your comments, boys, because I'm trying to get to specifically to the fight channel. Squad Ward says this channel is underrated. Thank you, sir. I feel that it is. Crypto is the way to go, says call into MMA hole sometimes. I absolutely will, sir. I absolutely will. This will not be forgotten. Aunt Ann the Knitter says, just subbed and liked. Thank you very much, Aunt Ann. You are a champion. Thank you very much. I will definitely be jumping into their chats at some point for MMA holes. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. This guy, this Caio Borrello guy, is someone to watch. Abus Magomedov is not anyone to sleep on either, man. He's definitely a very, very, very good fighter. He lost to Sean Strickland, which is, it's not a big problem. Crypto is the way to go. I just subbed and liked. Thank you, man. Harry DeLuca says, how do you see this fight playing out? I see this fight being very dangerous for KO in the first round, the first 7 minutes. Abus Magomedov can beat anyone in those first 5 to 8 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. He's a very dangerous fighter. Having said what I just said, I think that KO is very experienced. I think he might be 14-1. I like fighters to have a loss on their record, to be honest. Losing and getting past losing is a big thing. So he's a big boy as well. He's nowhere near what they say he is. Like they said, he's like 5'9" or 5'10". He's not. He's a big guy. You can see he's a big guy. He's a very smart, clever dude, man. This guy had he was like a chemistry or a physics student, and he's just a clever guy. Plays chess, blah 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 blah. He's not dumb. He's got the physicality to follow as well. You know what I mean? High fives all around. And so I think that he's got the physicality and the athleticism to be able to see it through. And so I do think that this guy's going to weather the storm. Then he's going to take Abbas down. And then from there on in, it'll be either he rides him out 2-1, or he finishes him. That's how I see the fight going. I see the fight at the start of this first round going to Abbas, more than likely, just with the strikes and his ability to wrestle. But eventually, I do think that KO will get the better of it. Guys, thank you so much for liking and subscribing, please. And shout out to MMA Holes and shout out to the MMA Guru. Two amazing channels, and even Red Pill MMA, actually. I just want to say this. I don't necessarily agree with every single thing that these guys say, but I do like I said, I do like when people have like a different narrative to just what the UFC is putting out there, or just, what other people are putting out there. I like seeing different narratives, even if I don't agree with them. Matt says, "Hey Fab, MMA Holes is a cool channel. 630 people in the chat. We throwing you some love, mate. Hopefully you get some new subscribers and shit." Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it so much. MMA Holes is the source, people. So follow them and like and subscribe to their channel as well, please, as much as you can. If you guys don't know about it already that are on my chat, I'm going to definitely be paying them a visit. And I really, really appreciate the support from MMA Holes, to be honest with you. So just give me 1 second. So yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I really, really appreciate it. So we're about to start here. That's how I see this round going, Harry. I see this. So we got KO in Southpaw stance, Abbas Magomedov in the orthodox stance, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, and we're off. Both men, Abbas Magomedov is showing a much more cautious approach. Nice oblique kick by, like a jumping side kick in there by Caio Borralho. This Southpaw orthodox matchup with guys that can strike is really interesting, man. It's a very, very interesting fight. They're both open to the same things, except that the Southpaw guy gets to kick the liver. This blitz that KO does is really good. Oh, he's looking for a left high kick, is KO Borralho. Energy management by Abbas Magomedov is looking much better in this fight than it was in the Sean Strickland fight. 3:55 to go. He's controlling the center of the octagon is Magomedov. 1-2 by Caio Borralho, almost finds a home. What a lot of people don't know about Caio Borralho has a brown belt in judo, but it's deceptive because his background originally is in judo, and he does a lot of striking arts as well. But he's competed at like state and national levels in judo, and he's also a very, very good jiu-jitsu practitioner and good striker. So this guy can. This is going to be a very telling fight. How he does here, he could go the whole way. This Caio Borralho guy. I've been talking about Caio Borralho for a long time. Long time. I was telling Eli, for anyone that remembers Eli, about Caio Borralho. And you heard it here first, guys. I've probably not heard it here first. You may have heard it somewhere else. They exchange leg kicks, but Caio's starting to find a home for him. It's 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go. He's very smart at finding where he needs to take each fight, Caio Borralho, and that's something that I really like about him. He's very clever in understanding this is where I've got to take the fight. 1-2 almost finds a home by Abbas Magomedov, but it was well blocked by KO. Real interesting cat, this Caio Borralho guy. He was, by the time he was 15 years old, he was tutoring maths and science. His grandfather was a maths teacher, and that's probably where. Oh, guys, looking for a counter right hook. Does Caio Borralho swing and a miss? But both guys missed then. Both guys missed. Nice front kick by Abbas Magomedov. Nice jab by Abbas Magomedov. Caio has switched to orthodox and he's looking to kick the legs of Abbas Magomedov. Those oblique kicks. And what he's doing as well, he's throwing this side kick, but he's throwing it to the leg that's planted. Is KO Barello. Ooh, left high kick, swinging a miss by KO Barello. Nice little jab landed by Cabarello. Cabarello's down on a double leg. Oh, he shoots a double leg, misses the double leg. Great sprawl by Magomedov, and then Magomedov almost kicked his head off, but just missed. And that's how the fight game happens, man. How do you caught that kick? Oh man, right hook, left straight by Cabarello. Nice kick to the leg by Cabarello. I can hear my daughter telling my wife, Daddy wants a coffee. And my wife's like, oh, you can wait. She's got all 3 kids with her. 43 seconds to go with this round. This is a tight round, dude. This is a tight round. See, this is the thing where I wouldn't want to be a judge at this point in this round because I can't tell you who's winning. You can say, oh, this or that, the other. It's a tough round. And you got to remember, this is basically a swing round. This depends on how. Oh, 1-2 by Caio Barella gets poked in the eye. Does Caio Barella with 23 seconds to go? Yeah, it basically becomes a swing round. This round, like at this point, I can't say to you, oh, who. Like there's one guy clearly winning. This is that's what I'm saying. Matt says, "Hey Fab, MMA holds a cool channel 6:30." Oh, okay, sorry. Is it safe to say Barella hits way harder? No. Magomedov hits hard, man. He hits real hard. Joseph says, shout out to the GOAT, Eli Hedges. Need a cameo from that dude soon, coach. We miss him. Yeah, man, we've just been crazy busy, honestly, all of us at this point. And it's just hard to organize stuff. His kids are getting older, so he still comes and coaches jiu-jitsu and boxing at the gym and trains and that. But it's hard to organize, like, to come here and spend 3 hours. Like, it's very hard. It's difficult, His kids are getting older. His kids do sport themselves, and yeah. Now, you got to be very clear. Do not say you're in the desert, KO. Do not say you're in the desert. They shake hands. They hug. Lovely. Excellent work. They both hit hard. I don't know who hits harder, but I think the thing that KO has is good blitz and he's got good in and out movement. Like he moves a little bit better and that catches you out a lot of the times. So 7 seconds to go. Right high kick, swinging a miss by Abus Magomedov. Again, KO seems to have caught him with something there. I can't see clearly. 1 second to go. Time. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first round gone. I cannot score this round. I am not an MMA judge. I am not scoring the fights. I'm simply watching it with my friends from all over the world. You got to understand that's probably a swing round. So the next 2 rounds are of even greater importance. If I was in the corner, I wouldn't say to either one of those guys, you definitely won that round because I can't. Joseph says, Mike Bell gave that round 10-8 to Eli Hedges. Yeah, I can't say to you, if I'm in the corner of either one of these guys, you definitely won that round. It's in the bag. We're good. Like I wouldn't say that. I would straight out say, I don't know who won that round. Just keep fighting. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting round. But I do think Magomedov tends to slow down. And I think that KO can more or less fight at that pace the whole fight. That pace for middleweights is fast. It's a decent pace for middleweights. It's not an easy pace. It's not like, oh, we're cruising along and fucking nah. This was a good pace. We're off, guys, in the second round. KO opens the second round from southpaw, looks for a front kick down the middle, lands that front kick down the middle. Do not underestimate those front kicks. 47, 46, 45, 44, 43. There we go. Oh, goes jumping knee, doesn't throw it, but then lands and throws a calf kick to Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov goes looking for a front kick, doesn't get it. And I think that these next 2 minutes or so is going to be very telling for Magomedov because I think KO will run away with it thereafter. Magomedov feinting a little bit. Feinting, looks for left-right hand combination, throws a left uppercut. That he takes it on the arms, does KO though. I think there was another eye poke in there. 4 minutes to go. Good little feint by KO. KO's feinting. I see a big left hand coming from KO here. The way he's feinting low with his right. It'll be off a blitz. He's going to step outside that lead foot. Abus Magomedov. Yeah, there's the left hand. There's the 1-2. Nice body kick by KO. But taken on the arms of a Magomedov. Harry asks, do I think Magomedov has more efficient footwork? I think they're very different, dude. Like Magomedov has more of a methodical kind of kickboxing traditional style, but KO has like a more karate blitz style. So the efficiency, it depends. They're just very different kind of clash of striking styles. Nice little right hand lands. Oh, another little right hand lands by KO on Magomedov. They're just very different the way they approach the stand-up game. But even in his efficiency of stand-up, he still slows down, does Magomedov. Got poked in the eye again, did KO. They touch gloves and they're back in the middle. Inside kick by Magomedov. Magomedov's definitely slowed down. He's definitely slowed down. There's 2 minutes to go. Nice jab lands again by KO. And another jab lands by KO. Magomedov shows a right hand. He's looking for the big right hand is Magomedov. Right hand, left hook, or right hand and uppercut is Magomedov's jam. There it is. Right hand, left hook, but doesn't land. KO lands another calf kick, does KO. Oh, left straight to the body by KO. KO's landing good body shots. Magomedov's definitely slowed down. The way he circles off the cage, very, very clever too, KO Borrello. And then he covers up well for that right hand of Magomedov's. You can tell he's done his homework. He understands exactly who he's fighting and how to reap the benefits of that. 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. So again, it's a close round again. I've kind of, in my opinion, I see the momentum shifting to Borrello a little bit, but that's just me. Like there's be a whole bunch of people on the chat that are going to see it differently. You know, but it's by a bee's dick. You know what I mean? Not by much. In this particular round, I just see KO lands another jab. And another leg kick. And he's starting to buy up that real estate a little bit more than what he was earlier in the fight in the center of the octagon. If he gets Abus moving backwards, he's going to finish him, I think. Abus has definitely slowed down. Goes looking for a right to the body. I think it may have landed on KO. Oh, spinning back fist on KO by Abus Magomedov. 28 seconds to go. Oh, nice knee to the body by Borrello, and then a jab lands by Borrello again. Borrello's found a home for that jab. And it's funny because you don't often see the jab land from like orthodox to southpaw in that way. 4 seconds to go. Yeah, the body language has definitely changed from Magomedov. They're talking to each other. I don't know what they said to each other. I don't even know how good Magomedov's English is. Harry DeLuca says, or is that just Borrello's style? No, it's definitely Borrello's style. Ofon says, loved how you talked about the aerial versus Chow situation, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Ofon says, I don't typically like the drama stuff, but aerial sucks. He's clever at what he does, man. He's a very, very smart guy. You got to give the devil its due, you know. Like he's a clever guy. I don't hate on him. Like I just know what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I like MMA Guru, and I like having other people that can see different things. But it's not just aerial. There's like everyone, you know. Harry DeLuca says, it's cool how Magomedov throws his feints. They look different to other people's. Yeah, definitely. He definitely shows you that right hand. So this is the third round here. I do think that KO is going to run away with it. Classy Nasty says 100 right back at you, sir. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, they touch hands. Oh, there's a big embrace in the middle, a huge embrace. Oh, they exchange. Magomedov lands a nice little front kick there. They exchange in the middle. Magomedov will be dangerous here at the start of this round, but I do think he has slowed down. I do think you can see it in his body language, and I do think that Borrello will capitalize on it as the fight progresses. I can probably even see Borrello getting a finish here. I really can. Nice high kick by Borrello. But up until this point, the fight's pretty close, man. The fight's pretty close. Let's say you give this a round each. You know, I don't like, for example, this is still could be anyone's fight. Nice punch landed there by Magomedov. Nice right high kick landed by Magomedov. Not flush, but enough. But Borrello's moving him backwards. Borrello's definitely moving him backwards, and Magomedov is not. This is not how he fights. You know, this is what I'm saying to you. He could get finished here. Nice little jab lands by Borrello. Left hand by KO. Very clever. Left high kick's going to come from Borrello very soon. He's going to throw a 1-2 and throw that left high kick, I believe, if you can get him moving against the cage. That right hand is low from Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov again feints on that right hand. Left low kick, left punch, sorry, by yes, there's a left high kick, but he didn't. But he's going to throw it. He's going to throw it again. It's there. Especially watch when the way Magomedov dips his head. Borrello's now he can feel it as well. He's controlling the center of the octagon. Magomedov's doing a good job of lifting his knees and stepping through to gain back some space and some real estate. But man, tough go of it now. He's definitely slowed down. Definitely slowed down. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to go. Oh, spinning back fist by Borrello. Borrello's doing a fantastic. Ooh, left flying knee. I don't know if it landed. Left straight. Big right uppercut. Gets the takedown. Does Borrello. He's gonna finish his fight here, I think. 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go. There's no knee shield. There's no nothing from Magomedov here. I say this to people all the time. This now, it stops being half guard. This is a pin now. This is basically a Turk ride. There's no knee shield. There's you can see that the left knee of Borrello is kind of stepping through, and that's helping to pin. Was helping to pin Magomedov. Magomedov's going to get up, but at this late stage of the game for Magomedov and how fatigued he is, that little exertion would have cost him everything. And I think even if Borrello doesn't get the finish here, this is it's Borrello's fight. Nice little ground and pound here against the cage. It's head position. Whoever's got their head higher is going to win. And I think that he might survive this round, Magomedov. So he might survive the fight, but he's not going to win this fight. Even if you give a round apiece, even like if you give it a round apiece, and the first one was pretty close. You can't give both of those rounds to Magomedov unless you Magomedov's family member. He's got wrist control. He's controlling very, very, very well. It's got a body triangle on. Magomedov is not going to get out of this, I don't think. And Caio Borrello is going to be. I thought this would happen earlier in the round, in the fight, but So 30 seconds to go. And Kyle Barella is trying to get his hands free. And Abus Magomedov is holding on for dear life. It's hard. It's hard to finish someone's hit like this, especially in MMA with gloves. But he's definitely got the control here, and there's nothing like. I can't see anyone giving this fight. Yeah, I can't see anyone giving this fight to Magomedov. Okay. Ofon says, yes, very smart, but so obnoxious. I like when people that behave that way get called out. Ofon says, I find it strange Lewis has been fighting for so long at a fairly high level. In fantasy fights at heavyweight, you know what I mean? Like you can lose 3 in a row at heavyweight and then win 2 in a row and you're back in title contention. Ofon says, I forget who I saw this Brazilian dude fight recently, but it was a very good performance. You saw him fight Michael Olekjanchuk. I can't say his name properly. He's a Polish guy, heavy hands, and KO was all over him. Yeah, the jabs, the elbows from KO. I think KO won the second round reasonably comfortably, and he definitely won the third. The first round, like I said, is probably a swing round. And yeah, I see that happening. I thought he was going to get the finish there. Ofon says, second Dagestani besides Zabit that can't fight past the second round. Harry DeLuca says, that elbow that started all that was heaps good. Yeah, I think he's a fantastic fighter. I'm pretty high on this guy, to be honest with you. I'll be back in 1 second. The joys of children, people. I was just seeing them beat my kids were fighting downstairs. Ofon says, I guess I don't mean they can't fight, but more they fade a lot. Yeah, man, people fight differently as well. Like you can't like the exertion as well that these guys fight with is like the effort and exertion that they fight with. Magomedov is dangerous, dude. He's no joke. People criticize him because of the fight with Strickland, but in that first round, if he had gotten Strickland out of there, would have been a completely different story. Harry DeLuca says, I think it could have been because he was getting tagged a fair bit with little shots in the second. Can you explain what you mean, Harry? Because I'm not exactly sure what you're referring to. Harry DeLuca says, is a bit coming back. I doubt it, dude. I think he's studying like medicine or something, which I would say if you have opportunity to study medicine, or something like that, and you've done your fighting career, dude, like go and do medicine. Cooper Marion says, speaking of the bees dicks earlier, how is the beekeeping? The beekeeping's pretty easy, man, as long as you keep them free of viruses and bugs, and anything like that. Like, you're all right at this juncture. I haven't harvested any honey, but I'll probably put up a little video of me harvesting the honey if and when I do. I'll put it up on my channel. Kuru Flint says, I heard he went into medical school. Yeah, me too. Ophon says, Strickland did say the first round sucked, but sometimes it's hard to see how close someone was to getting finished if they have a good poker face. Man, it's absolutely brutal when you fight. Like, it's hard, man. People don't, oh, someone's so faded, da 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 da. Man, like it's hard. The dude in that first round is dangerous, man. He's dangerous. He's a very, very dangerous guy in that first round. Yeah, in the second round, yeah, he did like those jabs as well that KO was landing. Like jabs affect you. People think they don't just because they don't look crazy, but they do. And then also you got to understand, KO landed some good body shots to him as well. Ophon says, "Oh, forgot you're into bees. That's awesome. I wish I had the time and space to raise bees." And Gilbert Burns looking young. It's not that hard. I'm by no means very clever, nor do I have a green thumb. I'm going to turn my big part of my backyard into a veggie patch because my wife and I put down like a space and we made a veggie patch, and it was surprisingly good. It was surprisingly good. It came out pretty good. Like I was skeptical, I was skeptical. We got two actual like raised garden beds. One's hydrangeas, yeah, that's my wife's thing, and then on the other side we have a passion fruit, pumpkin, like some bunch of herbs and that, tomatoes. What else? Yeah, some potatoes. I think something, a whole bunch of different things, and then spring onions, and then at the front we have these like 5 trees. We got a little apple tree, little avocado tree, and 3 like citrus trees, Tahitian lime trees, I think. And so they're growing, and yeah, man. Now we're getting more and more into it. So we're going to convert like probably about, I want to say about 35 meters squared or something like this, maybe 40 meters squared, into like more veggies. Ophon says I have 8 fig trees. Dude, that's fantastic. We're going to plant a fig tree, but I've got to figure out how and where I'm going to plant it. Yeah, the bees now there's bees everywhere in where I live. Like you just see there's heaps of bees. I think I read an article the other day that beekeeping in Sydney and like the regions around Sydney have gone up by like 40% or something, like just like amateur beekeepers like myself. There's like 40% more of them or some figure like that. And I find that very interesting as well. Man, I'm so bummed. Like that was a good fight, and I'm so bummed because that other dude, Armin Petrosian, he fought KO, and Cabarello beat him, took him down, took his back, etc. Da 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 da. But I don't think, I know that Rodolfo Vieira doesn't have the striking or the MMA experience that allows Caballero to implement his grappling. Ophon says there are some that don't require the fig wasp, which I believe does not survive in the Sydney area. Oh, do you know what your growing zone is, Fab? Nah, man, I don't know any of that stuff. I don't even understand. My mum's got a fig tree in a pot plant that my mum wants to give to me because she's moving. So, I'm watching these two guys. They're like grappling in the. I don't know who it was. There's two like commentators and they're grappling. What do you mean by 11-8? That means it's super hot and dry there. Where I actually live, it's not. It's not because I live on the south coast of. I live on the south coast of New South Wales, but it's just like an hour below Sydney, so it's right next to the national park. So I live between the escarpment, like of the national park, and the ocean. So we get a fair bit of rain compared to other parts of Australia, of course. Okay, so 11A is your growing zone. Okay, and that means that it's super hot and dry. I'm not, like I said, I'm not an environmentalist, so I can't argue that. But I think it, as far as like compared to the rest of Sydney, it's not as bad. So we get to grow some decent stuff around here because we get rain. A lot of places in Sydney don't go. I think it was the escarpment, like when the clouds, like it kind of get stuck on the escarpment a little bit. So we get rain reasonably regularly compared to other parts of Sydney. I really was tuning in for that fight with the other two, but yeah. Ofon says, okay, cool. If you get good rain, then that helps a lot. No, it does. It does. Like there's a lot of sun and there's a lot of rain. So, it's not tropical amount of rain, but we get more rain than other parts of Sydney. And sometimes even just like a bit of a sprinkle. But now recently we're getting like a whole week straight of rain and we still get sun. So it's not too bad. It isn't too bad. It's not too bad at all. So I want to grow some fruits and veggies and stuff, making the veggie patch. As you get older, you start to really appreciate those things, I think. Ofon says, so basically almost tropical. I think the term for it is subtropical. We're just below, like, not just, probably, fair bit below, like, the tropics. Queensland and, of course, North Queensland is tropical. And I do believe the term for us is subtropical. Ofon says, for sure, got into it at 29. How old are you now, Ofon? The thing is as well, like, Ofon says, yes, sir, that's what they call it here too. Yeah, so it's kind of subtropical. For us, right, when it gets to like the other day, it was 15 degrees Celsius during the day. In summer too, which is ridiculously cold for Sydney summer, right? And you should have seen, like, my wife and I were like, my wife's like, it's going to be 15 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be 15 degrees tomorrow. And she was like ready to, I don't know, man, like double insulate the house, the windows. But it wasn't like that. It was really cold for Sydney summer, 15 degrees during the day. And it was only in the morning, like the rest, I think it got up to 22, 23 degrees. But that would be cold day in summer, 22, 23 degrees Celsius. In winter, you might get a 10-degree day or something like this, which would be really cold, really, really cold in Sydney. And you get down to 0 degrees in Sydney, not here though, not out here. Matt says Nascimento by submission next at $3.50. Come on. He could do it. He could do it. I'm not entirely sold on the other fellow. Ofon says another cool thing about fig trees, certain varieties, you can make very good tasting tea, in my opinion. There you go. HLB Coma, I'm going to call you Coma, says, yo, Kojak, your mic positioning sucks. You are talking into the side. It should be in front of your beautiful lips. Point taken, sir. Thank you very much. A little bit creepy, but thank you. Ofon says some people think it smells like cat piss and tastes like dirt, so maybe there's a genetic component to the perceived smell and flavor. There you go. Ofon says kind of like cilantro has a citrus taste to some and a soapy taste to others. I agree with you. I do. I'm doing my best, buddy, with the microphone, but I have to look at different screens. I'm not entirely sold. I think is this guy from Texas? Mayers? Like is Mayers from? I'm pretty sure he is. Nah, he's from Louisville, Kentucky. I thought he was from Texas. Okay. I'm not sold on him, man. I'm not fully sold on him. Cooper Marion says Texas weather sucks. Gets above 40 degrees Celsius in summer and decently below 0 degrees in the winter. The worst of both worlds. Yeah, I've complained about Sydney weather as well, like that, because it doesn't get hot enough. Like it's too. If you live in like Southwest Sydney, where I grew up, it's stinking hot, right? But you're not near the ocean or anything like that. And it's like there's humidity as well. It's hot. It's pretty awful in summer. And we get to like 48 degrees Celsius at times. Like we've had it that hot. And then in winter, it's like 0 degrees, but you don't have snow. Or you don't have any of the benefits of winter. It's just cold. But it's not cold enough for you to have the beautiful cold winter, if that makes sense. Coma says, hey, this is the internet. What did you expect? I did not ask for any feet pics yet. Hey, man, I'm just happy you're on the chat, my brother. So thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, my friends. Ofon says, try living in South Texas where we have that and also have hurricane threats. Yeah, that's scary, man. Sydney and this region here, we get floods and drought. Drought's a big one, and with drought comes the bushfires, and with the bushfires comes the floods, and with the droughts and the bushfires come the floods because the earth is all messed up, and then it rains, and then it floods, and it's just fucking round and round in circles. Ofon says that guy has some horrible tattoos. Yes, some of the tattoos are crazy. I don't know what people were thinking. Cooper Marion says sounds the same as Dallas, basically 70% humidity. Yeah, I don't know what the percentage is humidity in Sydney. Let me see. Like right now it's 75% humidity in Sydney. But I'd imagine that there's times, what is normal humidity in Sydney? Yeah, so September through to February, it's about 66% humidity. Probably higher than that, I'd say, like on other days, you know what I mean? Coma says Fat Boy division is the best division. It's an exciting division, I'll give him that. Nascimento in the white trunks, right low kick by Mayers. Right hand by Nascimento. Little left uppercut. Nascimento's taking the fight to him. Big shots by Nascimento. These guys are so big, dude. Look at these heavyweights. They're so big, man. He's looking for a home for that right hand is Mayers, and I believe that Mayers is going to find that home. I do think he will. Standing in the orthodox stance is Mayers, and that's only making it worse for the... Now he's back in the orthodox stance. I was going to say it's only making it worse for the right hand of Nascimento. Oh, nice little left. It doesn't react well to the shots, does Mayers? Threw a left hook, did Mayers. But he doesn't react well to the shots, Mayers. Oh, nice little left hook by Nascimento. Checks the kick. Lands a few shots there. They're in the tie clinch. Mayers has the better positioning. And he's not like when he's getting hit and reacting even after he's getting hit is Mayers. Little uppercut by Nascimento. Big right hand by Nascimento. They're not landing flush yet. Mayers is kind of getting out of the way, but still. I think there was an eye poke there. But he hasn't called for the stop. Oh, he goes looking for a little uppercut, does Mayers. These guys are so big. Like, these guys are dudes that I just keep in mind in case I win the lotto one day, and because I know they're not on huge money. Nice uppercut lands by Nascimento. The big boys are trading here in the pocket. I know they're not on huge money, and like if I won the lotto, like if they're good blokes, I would have these guys just follow me around, like kind of like how Mayweather does. They're not amazing fighters, so they're not on huge money, but they're good enough fighters that they bash anyone that try to take anything off me. So I'll just keep these guys always in mind as future bodyguards if I win the lotto. These guys exchanging in the pocket is, swing and a miss by Nascimento. Nice pair of jabs landed by Nascimento. Mays has his hands down. Oh. Head control by Nascimento. Looking for a body lock takedown, but Mayers has the underhooks. Mayers has a judo background, so he's not going to be that easy to take down from the clinch necessarily. You're going to have to pick up a leg. But he has, I believe he was Kentucky champion or Missouri champion or something like this, one of these places. But he does have a judo background. Now, how many people do judo in Kentucky? I don't know. But I know that he won a state title in judo. They're exchanging. And how many giant heavyweight dudes do judo in Kentucky? I don't know. It doesn't strike me to be like a judo heavy state necessarily. There's the single leg by Nascimento, but he does a good job, Mayers, of getting up. Nascimento drives him into the cage. He's down on both knees. Nascimento is going to need to better that position. I think he does have his hands locked rather, and he's looking for it. But there's that whizzer and that judo balance from Mayers. Mayers is able to land some knees. Cooper Marion says 3 people do judo in Kentucky. I'm scared Tuivasa would rob me, Cooper. I'm scared he'd rob me. I know Tai Tuivasa. He's a good dude, man. He's actually a really, really good guy. But yeah, I'd be petrified of him. 49 seconds to go in this round. These guys are having a good old slobber knocker here fight. Yeah, I think that Nascimento is going to find a home for his shots eventually. Mayers is looking tired at this point. And eventually I think Nascimento is going to get him down. And then it's going to be hard for Mayers to get back up. Even though he comes from throws a jumping left uppercut. And an axe kick by Mayers. Jesus. Let's see. Ofon says, and funnel webs. Yeah, funnel webs are crazy, dude. Fun fact, dogs are immune to funnel webs. My dog got bitten in the nose by one. I thought, oh shit, he's going to die, which I like my dog, but he didn't. Ofon says, this guy looks like a child between Chaos Williams and DC. Matt says, I'm from Queensland. I lost everything in the Brisbane floods, then moved to Sydney and been through bushfires too. Good times. Welcome to Australia. Yeah, it is like that, man. Especially that period, man, was bad with the floods in Queensland and the fires in all over Australia. It was bad. Cooper Marion says, Fat Boy Division gives us either 3 greatest fights, the worst fights, or the most unintentionally funny fights. I agree, sir. Coma says, look at these Tyson Fury looking guys. Yes. Cooper Marion, that's a tie to Ivasa thing. Cooper Marion says 3 people do judo in Kentucky, and Mayers is one of them. Mayers is 2 of them. I know what you just said, Ofon, there. 2 Ivasa is funny. Ofon says, chill, guys, somehow, though. Okay, sorry, guys. We're back here. We've started. Second round. Mayers in the southpaw stance. Nascimento seems to have a bit of a pep in his step. He's not really getting his foot outside of the lead foot of Mayers when in the orthodox southpaw stance. Neither one of them seems to be trying to do that. Mayers takes a right on his chin. Right hand, right high kick. Takes a big shot, does Mayers. They're swinging for the fences. Mayers with his back to the cage. Nascimento lands a couple of good shots on Mayers. Mayers calls him on. He's displaying a good chin. Nice double leg shot by by Nascimento, but Mayes defends it by being a big guy with a good whizzer. It was like a slow motion, good shot there by Nascimento. And man, Mayes has impressed me with his chin in this fight. Because Nascimento landed a few like shots like hard on him. He's looking for a body lock here is Nascimento. I want to see if Mayes, the exponent of Kentucky Judo, can pull off a big throw here. I'd be really interested to see. I think this is a fun fight to watch, but for the wrong reasons. They're giving it their all. So I'm not criticizing them. They're just, they're not. It's not like watching Mighty Mouse fight. 3 minutes and 15 seconds in the second round. I thought Nascimento was going to land the right hand and get him out of there, but he didn't. Cooper Marion says, I feel like I'd want like a Luke Rockhold for a bodyguard. Just looks like a random model who doesn't know what to do with his hands. Any tornado kicks you. It could be. It could be. Do you have, Ofon, do you have like a cousin of the funnel web up there? And then Ofon writes, regarding figs though, I would recommend 2 fab. 1 green variety like Green Isha, and then 1 black like Hardy Chicago. All right, I will keep that definitely in mind. But my mum's already planted it, so I don't know which ones she got. Nascimento is holding Mayes up against the cage, and they're just kind of landing little shots on each other's. 2:21 to go. I cannot imagine that this fight's going to go 3 rounds like this. Like, because Mayes looks like he's seen better days as well. Like left high kick, but taken on the forearm by Mayes. Mayes throws an axe kick, like a crescent kick. He's full of surprises, is Mayes. Really displaying his Kentucky Judo here. The only form of judo where they throw axe kicks. He's a big fellow though, man. He's like a big dude. 1:36 to go. Oh, he kicked that. Looked like he kicked him in the nuts, did Mayes. Mayes moving backwards. Not a lot happening. Nascimento controlling the center of the octagon. I'm so upset that the Rodolfo Vieira fight got called off. I was really looking forward for that fight. Honestly, I really, really was. I wanted to see that fight. Left to the body right up top by Nascimento. Oh, big lazy right hand by Mayes. But I can't see, like, if this fight goes like this, I can't see Mayes winning this fight. Like, he's just not active enough in the fight. He lands some shots in the clinch and that, but it's always made by Nascimento. Like, Nascimento is the one that's doing the actual work. And he's more like happenstance that he's... He threw his left high kick, man. did Mayes. Mayes throws two left hands, does Mayes. I'm going to keep Mayes in mind. If he's a good bloke, if I win the lotto, that's who my bodyguard's going to be, is Mayes. Because he'd still be a big, scary dude that can fight, But he's just like, looks like he's gassed. There's 5 seconds to go in this round, and Nascimento's just staying tidy. That lunging left uppercut that he throws. There was a boxer from Australia, a good boxer. I was with the national team for wrestling. I was coaching at the Youth Commonwealth Games, and the Youth Olympic Games, and this kid was a boxer for Australia, won the gold medal, Damien Hooper, Super Hooper, and he threw that left uppercut that kid threw, that Mayes throws. That was like really good punch that he threw. But man, Hooper threw it really well. Really, really well. Coma says CTE belt on the line. Cooper Marion says you should try and grow some pineapples, Fab. Yeah, I will. I definitely will. Coma says I think they're getting hungry. They should throw them a burger in the break. Ophon says, Mighty Mouse is like a cartoon fighting. That's how I expect someone in a video game to fight. Cooper Merriam says, Mighty Mouse feels like a cheat code in real life. Dude's just too fast and world school to do anything to. Ophon says, we have a barn funnel weaver spider, but they aren't dangerous to humans. Funnel webs are dangerous. Ophon says, only things I know of to be scared of in the US are brown recluse spiders and black widows to a much lesser degree. Nah, funnel webs will kill you, you know, like Cooper Marin says, Texas Judo has axe kicks too. Must be an American thing. We're off, guys. We're off again. Inside leg kick by Mayers. Mayers throws a big overhand right. He's got a bit of a pep in his step in these first 15 seconds of the third round. I do expect him to take on a more conservative approach as the fight progresses. I don't imagine that he's going to be at the rip-roaring triathlete pace that he's going right now. There he goes with a big right high kick, does Mayers, taken on the forearm or waist of Nascimento. Nascimento throws a combination of 1-1-2. Oh, there it is, the 1-1 blocked easily by the mandible of Mayers. Tie clinch by Nascimento, left hand by Mayers. Mayers with his hands protecting his waistline as Nascimento moves forward with a nice tidy boxing stance. Both guys looking at each other angrily with 3:55 to go. Not much going on here. It looks more like a rap battle than a fight at this stage. But Nascimento has still got his hands up and he's still tidy. Oh, like a kind of Superman jab by Mayers, taken on the gloves by Nascimento, oblique kick by Mayers. I will say this, though. Some of those shots, while they're not flashy, they don't look good. Mayers is a huge man. If he lands a flush on you, he's going to really hurt you. He's going to really do a lot of damage. I agree, Ophon. He is holding up better than I expected, but he's not winning this fight. Ophon says, the laugh out loud, the switch kick reminded me of Nick Diaz's attempts. Coma says, third round shoulder should be a power slap round to make this interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. Cooper Marion says, you should get Maurice, the croquet boss, for a bodyguard. He seems like a chill guy. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of dudes, that I have in mind. If I win the lotto, we'll see how we go with it. I've got to win the lotto first. Thank you, guys, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. This fight, like, I appreciate that both guys are putting in their effort, and I do. I'm not making fun of them. I just, it's not the most exciting of fights. So that's not necessarily their fault. They're doing their best. But I think I'm using for the wrong reasons. Right hand taken flush by Mayers. A jab and an inside kick by Nascimento. 1 minute and 56 seconds to go. Mayers goes looking for a double leg, but he kind of got it around the armpits kind of thing of Nascimento. You really want to hit that double leg somewhere closer to the legs. Ophon says, yeah, they're trying hard. I think that's unfortunately not a good matchup in reality versus what it looked to be on paper. I agree. Ophon says, kind of like everyone thought Ngannou versus Lewis would be a great fight, except we got what we got. Yes, that happens a lot of the time. And you can't, it's easy to shit on the guys, but it's, they're doing what they can. It's just how they kind of match up. Ophon says, Bacosta Romero, legendary. That was a good fight. Cooper Marion says, you don't have to win the lotto. You can just hire a really jacked giant homie to help you in your day-to-day. Yeah, but I don't really, my day-to-day is not, I need a nanny more than I need a jacked giant at this stage. 52 seconds to go. They both exchange jabs politely. Oh, the left uppercut, he lands it. He lands a left hook as well, does Mayers. Yeah, Mayers needs a knockout. Inside polite left kick by Nascimento. They exchange jabs. Overhand right by Mayers. Mayers with a deep left underhook pushes Nascimento up against the cage with 17 seconds to go. I see no way other than a knockout for Mayers to win this fight, and I don't think it's going to happen with 7 seconds to go. Throws a big left hand. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, and that's a win by Nascimento. Cooper says Ty would make a great nanny. What are you talking about? Ofon says Whitaker vs. Samira 1 and 2 were amazing too. I didn't even watch the first one because I thought Whitaker would get smoked. Nah, man, there was a lot of preparation went into that fight. Ofon says I didn't really know him yet. I was a kind of casual at the time. Yeah, no, it was good. Coma says, dude, why don't you make more videos? Man, I'm trying to stream as much as I can, and it's very hard, man. I've got businesses and I've got stuff outside of this that I do. And so it's hard, you know what I mean? It's hard to do it. And then I have 3 kids under 4 years old. So it's pretty crazy, you know. I can only make so many videos. But I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do one of these coming weeks is I'm gonna do a watch along with some of the Combat Sambo fights. So we'll do like a fight night, and it'll be I'll probably get Davashvili's fight, Nurmagomedov's, Mahashev's, Amasov's, like a bunch of different guys like that, Fedor Emelianenko, and just do a fight companion. Ofon says 2 young children and marriage, 3 kids, 3 under 4. That's why I try and do as many as I can. Then I'll do the fight breakdowns on a Tuesday, which I'll do the fight breakdown for Pereira versus Jerry. So that will be on Tuesday, and I'll do the MMA weekly thing on Saturday, and then I'll do the fights. So it's hard, man. It's already hard to fit that in. I used to do a lot of interviews, but the interviews are so much work, man. There's so much work to like organize a time with the fighters and blah, 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 blah. I'll probably go back to doing it once I start to get more views and more subscribers and that. So I'll definitely be doing more. I will do more streams and more videos and whatnot. So that's a win by Nascimento. I'm so bummed. I've got to move past it, but I'm bummed that I didn't get to watch that fight that I wanted to watch. I don't know about this fight that's coming up. Hopefully it'll be a good fight. Cooper Marin says you should do a guest episode on the MMA Arcade podcast. Ofon says you all had some great interviews. Yeah, we did. I don't know what Nascimento's saying to him. He's looking concerned at them. It went from this. I'm looking forward to the Almeida fight. I'm definitely looking forward to this Jailton Almeida fight versus Lewis. I don't know how it's going to go. But Coma says, if you want to blow this channel up, you should do what MMA Guru. Comment on everything that happens in MMA and do as many videos as you can. Consistency is the key. Yeah, man, I'm just at a different stage in my life than the Guru is, you know. I definitely will. Like, I'm slowly building up to it, but it's not that easy, dude, for me at this stage. I'm kind of like I have to build it up slowly because I just don't have the time, man. I just don't have the time to get on and do that all the time, every single second of the day. I just cannot do it. As it is, man, as it is, if you saw what was happening downstairs, it looks like a war zone downstairs in my house, mate. There's kids crying, there's people screaming. Yeah, so I definitely, that's why I'm a big fan of the Guru, man. I think good for him, man. He's a young guy. He's picked what he wants to do and he's doing it and he's killing it. But no, consistency is the key. And I'm trying to keep that, like the Sundays consistent. So I'll do a reaction after this as well. So there'll be consistency. So like I said, Sundays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, and I'm going to try and fit another day in there. But it's hard, man. I think Guru did a fantastic job, and I think he was able to do it. He picked what he wanted to do and he ran with it, and he did a great job, man. So shout out to the Guru. I'm a big fan. Coma says you also need to start doing impressions. I'll leave that to Guru, man. I've got my things that I do. Ofon says the alternative point of view we like listening to compared to mainstream MMA media. Yeah, that's huge, man. He did a great job doing that. Like, it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just like or whatever. It's just different. I'll be back in 1 second. Kuru Flint says kids and consistency in content creation do not mix. It's very hard, dude. It's very, very hard. Like I enjoy doing this. But like it's very hard to keep that kind of consistency. That's I like MMA Guru a lot. I like watching like his like when stuff happens, I like watching his reaction to it. As a matter of fact, like this like I don't really listen to a lot of other guys. Um Coma says, I don't understand how they got Bisping to do it. Are you talking about Power Slab? They paid him. they, they paid him. That's how they got him to do it. I think it's ridiculous, you know. I think it's really, really stupid. Ofon says getting KO'd for a chance at a grand prize of $10,000. I think it's like proper ridiculous, the Power Slap. That doesn't mean it won't make money, but like it's bad. Like as far as like dangerous stuff you can do for not much money, that's it. You know, it's pretty insane to me. I can't fucking believe. I was really looking forward to this fight card, and I was really looking forward to seeing how these two guys, Petrosian and Vieira, would shape up against each other. I really, really wanted to see that. I'm sorry, guys, I can't let it go. And next week we got Pereira versus Prochaska, so that's going to be a really good fight, you know. And then we've got on that same card, we've got Pavlovic versus Aspinall. I'm really looking forward to that. And then the rest of the card, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not like hugely moved either way. Mackenzie Dern versus Jessica Andrade. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not super like pumped about the rest of the card, to be honest with you. But Sergey Pavlovic versus Tom Aspinall, that's a good fight. Jiri Prochaska versus Alex Pereira, that's going to be crazy. So those two, I'm pretty pumped for, and I'll probably do a breakdown for both of those. Now we have Nicholas Dalby versus Gabriel Bonfim. Harry DeLuca says, let's see. Let's start from Coma says, what do you think of the Ariel versus Chow fight? If they have a punch up, like I said before, if it's on the street and Ariel Ariel will probably use a scalpel or something like this. I can see him doing that. So on the street with no rules, I can see Ariel winning that with the use of a scalpel or saying, "Look, I don't like." I think the combination of Ariel in a fight with Chow, he would use. This is how I see. I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good at saying how fights will go. So I would imagine that there'd be an extreme amount of gaslighting by Ariel, and then he would stab Chow with a scalpel in a street fight like that. But as far as like an actual pitch fight, I got to go with Chael. Hofon says maybe one day they'll do Russian roulette. They probably will. Um, Ofon Harry DeLuca says Power Slap is one of the most entertaining things you can watch. And I've done you the favor. I did you the favor, Harry, of saying that in the most intelligent way I can. So I'll say Harry DeLuca says Power Slap is one of the most entertaining things you can watch. And I'm going to leave that right there, mate. Cooper Marion, Ofon says it's a kinder way to say it. Ofon says, I love this guy here. Cooper Marion says, I feel like Pereira is going to smoke Jiri really fast. I can't see him surviving long with his defense. The thing is also that you got to understand is that Jiri has got a good kickboxing background, not like Alex's, but it's still good. And he hits really hard and he hits really awkward. So it's a dangerous fight for Alex as well. Alex got to, dot his I's and cross his T's as well. Like it's a dangerous fight. I think Alex is the better fighter in that regard. And I think if they fought 20 times, Alex would win more times. But Jiri's dangerous. Ofon says, I think Ariel has a good chance if he has running shoes on. Ofon said, sounds like Helwani. Coma says, I meant more their verbal fight, but I learned something new today. Thanks. Like I said, I think one, it was staged. Like I think that they both probably genuinely thought what they were saying, but I think they knew that they were going to take the piss on each other like that, because I don't see Ariel like literally actually like saying that kind of stuff to Chael. If like I don't see it, you know what I mean? Or even Chael getting that worked up and that upset about it. I just don't see it. So I think they're very smart. They're both really, really intelligent guys, and they both know how to drum up drama and how to get people talking about it, because everyone's talking about their argument. I do think that. Cooper Marion says Errol will definitely grab a traffic cone or something. A traffic cone is not going to help him. Trust me, it'll be gaslighting, scalpel. That's the way it'll go. Cooper Marion says Errol Ofon says if they staged a bit, then they did a great job acting. Like, I think it's one of those things where, like, I don't think it has to be we staged it, like they sat down and planned it out, but like you can do that because they are mates at the end of the day. I can see them like knowing they have opposing views on it and then just running with it, and just saying whatever they wanted to each other. And that thing, like I know Harry, DeLuca, I know him personally. He trains with me. And he just said that abomination of how awesome Power Slap is. Like, and he said it like he just read Shakespeare or something for the first time. And if I had a debate here with him, I could say whatever. Sorry, give me 1 second. Yeah, I could say that, and then it'll be great. You know what I mean? Like it would, it'd sound like you're saying all sorts of shit to each other. But if you're mates, you just have a laugh about it afterwards. And I don't think it would be anything more than that. The way Harry said that, it was like he was quoting St. Crispin's Day by Shakespeare. But they're into the whole pro wrestling thing, so it makes sense. Ofon says, but they can understand how to adapt and play the game in real time. Coma says, I don't agree. Chow was seriously mad. I think Errol crossed the line and Chow did not appreciate it at all. I think they both know what they're getting into, though. I don't Yeah, I really doubt that Chael had no idea, or he might not have had any idea. Like I said, I don't think they sat down and talked about it, but yeah, we're off, guys. 456, 54, 53. Man, these two guys are in the center trading right off the bat. Nick Dalby eats a calf kick. He threw a right hand over the top. Big combinations landed by Bonfim. They're going hard, but Dalby's throwing big shots, but he's ate a few, and Bonfim has fast hands, man. And he's tidier. He's tidier than Dalby. Oh, calf kick followed by a 1-2. All of them landed by Bonfim then. But Dalby says, no, I'm coming forward anyways. And he gets the body lock on Bonfim, pushes him up against the cage, throws a knee to the inner thigh. When I say that conversation was staged, like I said, I don't necessarily think, not staged as in like they sat down and spoke about it, but they are mates, like they know each other. And I think, Harry DeLuca says they literally had a show together on ESPN. Yeah, they're not dumb. They know what to expect from each other. Even Ariel, with what he just said, like with he would have known that Chael knew about the numbers. Do you get what I mean? He'd know, because he'd know that Chael would have access to the numbers from ESPN. He'd know this. He would know. He'd probably have a contact there. He knows full well what those numbers were, So that's why I say to you, it's not. Like it would be just like I think they genuinely had those points of view, and I think that the argument was real. But it'd be like I said, like me debating power slap or something with Harry. Like I can tell him, "Fuck, you're an idiot," and it's not going to be like I'm saying it to some stranger that I don't know. Like I don't think that, because you don't see Ariel be like outwardly aggressive like that to dudes. Like you just don't see it. He's much more of a passive aggressive kind of dude. Both guys trading. Oh, left high kick, swing and a miss by Dalby. I just see Dalby slowing down here on a little bit on as a fight. Oh, nice calf kick lands by Dalby. I thought Bonfim, because he's just tidier with his strikes. Bonfim gets a body lock, takes Dalby down. He's into half guard with the right underhook. He's got the correct underhook. There's no knee shield by Dalby. This is the problem. And this is something that I say a lot of the times. Like, there's a difference between if, like, here Dalby's got the correct positions and he's got his body across him. So this is what's keeping Dalby flat. And Dalby's doing a good job of not staying flat, but Bonfim is keeping him flat. I think Bonfim's going to pass this guard and make life very difficult for Dalby. And he's looking for a Kimura trap, is Dalby, but that just sets up the armbar because it wasn't in a good position. It's got good hip positioning, does Bonfim here from side control, because he's got that left armpit. He's got that left leg in the armpit of Dalby. Dalby's doing a good job of getting that arm back, but he's in a bad position here, is Dalby. Bonfim's definitely got the better positioning. And here's the thing for people who don't understand this. This is very tiring for Dalby to be in this position. You're not in a good position. You're not in a good situation, So he's isolating the arms now, is Bonfim, with a minute to go in this round. He's looking for a Kimura on the far side, I believe, or an armbar on the near side. He's the Kimura. Dalby does a good job of defending it, but he just keeps getting his armpits trapped. Oh, he's looking for the head arm choke, is Bonfim. He's not going to get it. He's got the mount, though. Frames on Dalby's face. Dalby, you think, has gotten his half guard back, but this is only going to be a matter of time. This will take a huge amount out of the gas tank of Dalby, and if he doesn't get finished in this round, I believe he's going to get finished in the second round. This is really now the ground and pound is horrific. Whilst a lot of it's landing on the gloves, trust me, that hurts. It might not count as a significant strike, but it's absolutely affecting your head. the way you're getting hit there, whether you're covering up or not. It's still landing like you're like this. It's still landing. Your head's still getting shook pretty bad. And that's the round. Definitely a round for Bonfim. Cooper Marion says, I definitely agree. Jury's dangerous. I just see this matchup lining up well for Alex to the point of a pretty easy win finish. I mean, we got to see the fight. I don't think the fight's going to be easy, though. It might finish quick, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be easy finish. I don't think it'll be an easy fight. Joseph says Helwani versus Sonnen with guest judge Mike Bell. Hofon says Coma. That's how many of us saw it, but it doesn't mean we were right. I also agree with you, but maybe time will tell. Cooper Marion says, and I mean nothing about a fight is easy. I just see this being one of the easier matchups for Alex in the division. I think it's easier for the fact, kind of like the Israel fight, that they're going to generally fight in the stand-up realm. Even though they didn't in the first fight. Harry DeLuca says they literally had a show together on ESPN. Yes. Ofon says Bonfim is quick. Joseph says, I want her wanting to talk like that to Junior Tougher, then I'll believe it's real. Beetlejuice says, hey, Fabski, great to see you constantly back doing the live streams. Thank you, Beetlejuice. I appreciate it. Coma says, well, sometimes people used to have a podcast no longer speak together. Harry DeLuca says, how did he get that takedown? I only saw the body lock. I think from memory, now I'm just looking at it, he got the body lock thing. But if they no longer speak together, he wouldn't have come on his podcast to do it now. You know what I mean? Bonfim's landing those shots, gets the body lock again, switches it to a double leg, gets the takedown, and I believe this is the end for Dalby. I do believe looking for a Das was Bonfim. Zor win gives a whole bunch of gloves. Yes, sir. Thank you. Guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, if that had been the actual problem, Coma, you just wouldn't have gone on the show. I don't think there was any bad blood before it, and I think he's pretty. Like I said, it doesn't have to be staged to the point that you're going to say this, I'm going to say that. I think they both had their points of view, their opposing points of view, and they just ran with it. That's what I think was more than anything. Okay, so now again, Bonfim has 3:45 to go in the second round, has side control on Dalby. Even this position for Dalby, it's incredibly taxing to have a person on top of you, and you have to improve your position or it's going to be the wrap for you. It's hard. He's trying things, you know what I mean, to get up from the bottom, but Bonfim's just a way better grappler. And what Bonfim's doing is clever as well. Bonfim lets him get to positions like he just did then on the legs enough that it requires effort from Dalby, and then he moves away from it again. So now he's looking for a Das or a Japanese necktie from this position is Bonfim, and Dalby's doing a good job of keeping his forehead on the ground, to defend that. It's helping him to defend it. It's not the best way to defend it, but it's definitely helping him. He gets up, look with that underhook, does Dalby. That was a very good way of getting up. But again, he used up a lot of energy. Shows how fit this Dalby character is. Ofon says that Joseph, man, laugh aloud. That's a good point, especially how Helwani was like, do it, egging him on to strangle him when he's thousands of miles away. Yeah, I don't think he's had issues with fighters in the past, and he's always been apologetic and he does his whole gaslighting thing that he does. He's never been I don't know. He's never had a problem. Even with Dricus, he said stuff about Dricus, and then Dricus will come on the show or whatever, and he's never I said those things about you, Dricus, and what of it? When we see each other, do it, you coward. He never says that. That's not how he acts. You know what I mean? He knows Charles not. He's not going to say that. So that's why there's elements of that why I'm saying to you, it's staged in as far as at the very least, it's not going to go beyond that. Nice elbows by Dalby. If Dalby wins this will be comeback of the year, mate. 1 minute and 48 seconds to go. Dalby's hitting Bonfim with some uppercuts and some left hooks. Knees up the middle by Dalby. Dalby's doing a good job. What a comeback from Dalby. What a comeback from Dalby with 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. I did not see this happening in the fight. Big knees up the middle by Dalby. Has Bond. Oh, right hand lands by Dalby. Bonfim is in a lot of trouble. Bonfim is in a huge amount of trouble. Another knee. There's no output coming back from Bonfim. A little elbow lands by Dalby. Dalby's in really good shape, man. Really, really good shape. Bonfim has, man, I think he has checked out of this fight. Bonfim's moving backwards. He's just covering up now. His body language has changed completely. He goes looking for a single leg, switches that to a body lock, but Dalby defends it. There's nothing. Man, Dingo's going to lose this fight. Bonfim's going to lose this fight. Big knee up the middle. Man, if he survives this round, there's nothing coming back. There's 39 seconds to go. For those that don't know, 39 seconds is a huge amount of time to go if you're Gabriel Bonfim. Wow, Bonfim's out of there. He's not going to see this round out. My God, I did not see that. Dalby wins the fight. He wins the fight. Comeback of the year. Man, you should be so proud of yourself, Dalby. Good for you. Wow. So let me go through a few. Helwan has been in the game for too long to know what strings to pull. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he knows. Yeah. But it was still fun. Like, if anything, man, it just shows like they're smart guys, dude. They know what's going to get. Even if they didn't know exactly where it was going to go or what was going to happen, they knew, hey, let's get on here, have a big debate, make it heated or whatever. And I'm not saying that Chael may not have, like, throughout the actual podcast might have got a bit upset at Errol, but it would have still been like they both knew what was going to happen. No, of course he's not going to say that, Who saw that great win? Ofon says, by the way, what's up with all the Danish kickboxers? But that area, like Denmark, Holland, all of that, have always had good kickboxers. Coma says, confusing the turning of tides. Man, that fight there, I did not see Dalby getting the win. Do you know what I mean? I did not see him getting that win. Like, I'm surprised that he got the win. Like, I would not have bet on him before the fight. I definitely would not have bet on him throughout the fight. And he just came back and bashed him. Like, bashed him too, So full credit to him. I thought Bonfim was going to get it done. Wow. Yeah, no, I don't see I thought it was funny. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was funny, the Ariel and Chael thing. But they knew what was going to happen. They knew everyone would be talking about him now after the whole fight thing and everything. So they're smart guys. They know media. They know what to do. They know that that's what's going to get the views, And even the way that the arguments were formulated were a little bit like, for people that intelligent, is a little bit weird, just the way it was formulated. It was just mixing of arguments. It was crazy. Joseph says, Coach found a snippet of Customoto quote earlier. Remember, emotion relieves tension. Remember, motion, not emotion, relieves tension. The moment the bell rings and you come in contact with each other, suddenly your opponent becomes like everybody else. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And then when you land something on them, you start to read. This is provided that your skills are somewhat like comparable to each other. Otherwise, if you believe in that, but you're going to fight Fedor Emelianenko and you can't fight, then no, you're going to find out that he isn't like everybody else. But if you both matched around the same thing, you'll realize, like, yeah, you can hurt this guy can hurt you. And it is, yeah, motion does relieve tension. You see that anyways with people. Like, that's why if you even if you're nervous, it's like dialectical behavioral therapy, like if you're nervous and you're just sitting there like nervous, but then you do something that takes your mind off it. You might do a warm up and you might do some stretching, do some yoga. The motion will dissipate the tension in your body, and it will stop you from just sitting and ruminating thoughts. So a lot of, like, you can get like adult coloring in books, and that helps a lot. People do that kind of stuff that a lot of the times they don't even know that that's what they're doing, but it's like it's dialectical behavioral therapy that they're doing. Ofon says one fight I really don't want to see is Holloway versus Gaethje. I mean, Ofon says I love them both, but I can't help but think Gaethje will put a beating on him. Yeah, I think it'll be like the Dan Hooker fight. I think it'll be similar to that. But Gaethje hits with a little bit more reckless abandon, you know. So, and I think he hits with a little bit more pop. And yeah, that's I think what will happen. I can't believe that. Cooper Marion says even Gaethje didn't want to see that fight. That's crazy. That comeback from Dalby. Guys, when this main event finishes in a few minutes, I'm going to turn it around and do a reaction. So please join me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hit the little notification bell. And that way you'll get be able to join me for the next stream that I'm going to do. Yeah, so please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Yeah, I honestly admired the fact that they did that, you know, but I just don't find it that I didn't buy that. This is genuine. Like, especially, I think I would have bought it more, but I think that Helwani went a little bit too hard on Chael, where I'm like, you would never ever say that to Chael Sonnen. You just would not, especially like how Chael is. Like Chael, you know, he is a guy that you could tell would like for all like how nice he is, you could tell he'd fight you. Like he would fight you if you attacked him or you did something like that. Like he wouldn't be like a turn the other cheek kind of character. You know, he would fight you. Or he'd definitely confront you if you're Ariel and said something like that to him. I don't and the guys that are going to see each other again. It's not when Ariel said all of that. It's not like you guys that you don't move in the same circles. You move in the same circles. You're gonna see each other. So I definitely don't. When he said all of that, he's like, "You coward," and he's calling child names like that. Like no, like that's when I thought, like, no, you're taking the piss. Ofon says, "Did you guys hear Oliveira has his Islam rematch for January the 20th in Canada?" I think I read. I know that they're meant to be fighting again. Yeah, so that'll be an interesting fight. The rematch. I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. I don't think the first fight was that easy. If you watch it again, you know, I'm watching Jiri with his samurai sword. You got to love him. Yeah, see, he like that's what I was saying before. Like he's got a lot of fight experience. Does Jiri? Like he's no joke. He's got dynamite in his hands as well. Yeah, he hits like a truck. Greatest Adventurer says Magny versus Dalby next would be a good scrap. I want to say I probably think Dalby would win at this point in his career, but both those guys are getting on a little bit. Like I like neither one. I don't think Dalby's in this position, anyways. But I like to see the guys that like say for example Barallo now. You want to see him fight up the card. You know what I mean? Like you want to see him fight up the card. He beat Magomedov. I don't want to see him fight like Aliskerov or Imavov or Bo Nickel or any of these guys. I want to see him fight either. If you want to give him another fight before he will, you know who I think good fight for him? Hermanson. That's who I think would be a good fight for Barallo. It's a good step up into that top 10 of fighters. That's what I think for Barallo. For Dalby, I don't know. Probably, yeah, Magny because who they are, who each of them is in that division. Like they're not, neither one of those guys going to win the title at this point in their career. And I'm just looking at the main card here. Elvis Brenner, I'm not sure, man, because the catch weight, it kind of throws me off a little bit. Caio Borrello, I'd like to see. And Rodrigo Nascimento, again, that it wasn't a card where I look at that and go, fuck, these guys really put a stamp on it. I'd like to see him fight for the title, or I'd like to really see these guys fight up the card. None of them did that for me at this point in the fights. KO performed well, and I'd like to see him fight up the card. He's the only one that I can really speak about. Joseph says, Ofon, come on. Can my city get a good card? Laugh out loud, pretty please. Ofon says, I remember being so happy with Jury came on the scene. He seemed like the Tony Ferguson replacement. Yeah, I think he's much more centered, though, than Ferguson. Greatest Adventurer says, yeah, do Barolo versus a Manson. Joseph says, believe me, brother, we haven't had a good card since GSP's prime. Ofon says, and what's up with Costa? He's fighting less than once a year. It's so disappointing sometimes. I don't know, dude. I don't know, because I think that from my understanding, Polo signed a decent contract, so I don't know what the goal is there. I really don't. Cooper Marion says, I forgot how skinny 185 Pereira is compared to 205 Alex. You got to understand something. This is what people don't get. When he came back to the UFC, when he came to the UFC, he wasn't a middleweight fighter. His last reign in kickboxing was at 205. So he really had to cut down, because for him to get to that title shot and to be able to do the stuff that he had to do, he had to go through that storyline of the Israel Adesanya storyline. And that meant that he had to fight at 185. But that's no longer his fight weight. He was no longer a middleweight anymore. He had to do some crazy stuff to get down to 185. So I don't think that that's his best. I think you're going to see his best now. Like, he fought at 205. He's already had a fight at 205 with a good fighter. He's been able to rest his body and get his body to a good weight and to grow back into his frame of 205 and recover from those crazy weight cuts, because those weight cuts would not have been good for him. I do think it took out of his brain and out of his ability to take a shot. Coma says, I wanted to see that Costa versus Hamzat fight. They should reschedule it. I don't think Costa's going to want that fight. Do you know what I mean? Hamzat's going to want that fight, because Hamzat's going to want the title shot. He's not going to want to fight down the card and fight Costa. No way. Coma says they should. Harry DeLuca says, do you reckon fighters like Tyrone and Ngannou leaving to do boxing here and there boost fighter pay overall? No, not necessarily. Not at all. Because Tyrone Woodley was gone from MMA. He was done. He was a notch on the belt for Jake Paul, not anything other than that. I think fighter pay is going to go up in general, like everything else is going to go up. And Ngannou is a different animal altogether, kind of not in the same way as McGregor, but the same. Like in that he's a heavyweight champion. He left at the right time. He had the right momentum behind him, enough people watching him, you know what I mean? There wasn't so much very different situations. Ngannou is more comparable to McGregor. He's not as big of a name, of course, but more comparable to that. Whereas Tyron Woodley was more of a stepping stone for Jake Paul and a name. So, no, I don't think so. Like, everyone said that about the McGregor thing with Floyd Mayweather. It helped McGregor. It didn't really help any of the other fighters. Cooper Marion says, I remember that part. I was more just noticing he's looking thick now to a point I've never seen before. Yeah, he's going to grow into that frame, which is this is the frame he was fighting at. He looked sickly at 185. I guess I just didn't notice it as much until he moved up again. Yeah, man. Like, what he did to fight at 185 was insane. It's insane. You don't see fighters. It's never good for fighters at that age to move down a weight division, and that's what he did. And he won. This is very rare. Coma says Costa is not getting that title fight. Strickland is fighting somebody else in December, I think. I mean, Hamzat is not getting that title fight. Strickland is fighting somebody else in December, I think. Is Strickland fighting in December? I absolutely love the Easter Island memes with Pereira. Ofon says the internet really is amazingly creative sometimes. Greatest Adventurer says, I really hope Jiri wins. His whole vibe is so cool, but sometimes it's kind of reckless, and I think Alex is going to find a lot of openings. That being said, Jiri also hits like a truck, so I don't know. Yeah, they both hit very, very hard, man, and they're both very, very good. Cooper Marion says, Derek Lewis practicing his jabs like he actually fights behind it and not just jumping switch kicks. Greatest Adventurer says, I hope Jiri's shoulder is 100%. Ofon says, personally, I think the McGregor versus Mayweather thing did make Khabib a bigger star than he otherwise would have been. McGregor, the nemesis thing with McGregor and Khabib made Khabib a bigger star. The fact that, McGregor became an even bigger star, but McGregor was a big star whether or not he had fought Mayweather, and it was the animosity between Khabib and McGregor, the real animosity between them, and having a nemesis that can actually, like, that made people think, oh, who's going to win this fight, that made Khabib the star that he is. Ofon says that silly boxing match got him so much more known to the general public, but it probably made him a worse fighter. It made him massive, but he was already massive as well. Coma says, who we got in the main? I'm going with the Black Beast by KO just because it's what the world needs right now. I don't know, man. I think Almeida will get him down, and I think Almeida's too good on the ground. I honestly think that. I just think Almeida's younger. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, is like legit black belt in jiu-jitsu. Started when he was 11. I think he'll get him on the ground unless he can just be caught. You know what I mean? Unless he gets caught. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, he's not gonna get him. Otherwise, no, I don't see Lewis winning the fight overall. I see him catching him, but no. Ofon says, I always go for Lewis. I like him, and I'm from Houston too. Yeah, that's fair enough. Ofon says, I think he'd lose to Ngannou though. Coma says, Conor got distracted chasing after shiny things. Happens to the best of them, and sadly, he's too old now. Cooper Marion says, I think Jailton smushes him and makes us all sad. I think if Derek Lewis can't catch him with something, I think Jailton will take him down and either submit him or lay on top of him and tire him out. But Jailton's like, he's a legit jiu-jitsu guy, he's not a joke. Like, he's not like he's just got a little bit of jiu-jitsu. No, he knows he knows what to do, so I definitely see him winning this fight. He could lose it, but I don't think he'll lose the actual fight. He'll get caught. Greatest Adventurer says, Coach, you're disregarding Lewis's just get up jiu-jitsu style. It'll make it hard, but it'll be when you get a legit dudes like that, you might get up once or twice, but they'll eventually keep getting you down. Cooper Marin says, at Ofon, you're a Texan in Australia. If so, I'm honestly jealous. Seems like a great move. Coma says, just get up for the win. Derek Lewis is insanely strong, and he hits like a truck. So these things you have to be aware of. Jailton's 32 years old. Derek Lewis is 38. Jailton has enough fight experience. He's got enough good background behind him with his jiu-jitsu and whatnot. So I don't think it'll be easy. I think Derek Lewis has enough things in his bag of tricks that can make it a very difficult fight. But and Jailton's big and strong and athletic himself, so it's not Almeida looks 50. He does look older, I'll give him that. Jesus. But he's 6'4", 236 pounds. He's 107 kilos, 193 centimeters. Big boy, man. Big boy. But he's 107 kilos, like an athletic 107, you know? It's not like a big happy boy, you know? So the same height. Lewis is heavier. He's 120 kilograms. It's 191 centimeters. And he's very, very strong. But Jailton looks very athletic as well, you know? Like I'm impressed with Jailton. I'm not gonna lie. And you need some of that new blood. And there is a changing of the guard occurring in the UFC in many of the weight divisions. It's funny, because a lot of the guys that were the young guys in that division are now the older guys. Almeida says, Comus Ofon says, Cooper Marion, no, I'm not in Oz. I only knew Fab's growing zone because I looked it up earlier. Cooper Marion says, Derek actually looked in better shape, belly much smaller. Yeah, he does. He does look in good shape. He does look in good shape. Man, he's a dangerous dude. He's a big, dangerous dude that hits hard. He's a scary dude, man. He seems like such a scary human being, man. He's just such a big dude. And Jailton's doing his walkout now. All the lights are dimming. Lights are coming on. Cooper Marion says, Derek looks strange without a belly like a Ninja Turtle. He does look like a Ninja Turtle, doesn't he? Yes. I'm interested to see how this fight plays out and what that does then to the heavyweight division, because then I do believe then you would have another contender in there, which is interesting because you haven't had like really good, genuine bunch of contenders in there. So, say for example, I don't know when Jones will get back, if he gets back. But if, let's say, argument's sake, Jones gets back relatively soon, then you have Jones, Pavlovic, Aspinall, and Almeida. Say if Almeida wins, so who knows? So now it says, I'm just going to read something here. It says Sean Strickland, and this is off Reddit, right? So it says Sean Strickland is a fight booked for December, not Hamzat Chimaev. This was dropped by Aldrich Casada, who is an MMA coach. He said that he was told on a phone call that Sean Strickland wanted to fight again in December. Several opponents were proposed to him, including Hamzat Chimaev, but Sean chose another opponent, probably DDP if I had to guess. Other less probable options would be Adesanya rematch or Whitaker coming off a loss, and Costa said he wanted to fight soon. It seems weird because the December card is already stacked, but I guess if it's true, we'll know very soon. Let me just see something here. Let me just see something. UFC 296. That's the December card. You got Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington. No, that fight is not going to be on, I don't think, on that card. No way. You got two title shots already, two title cards. Like, you have Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, and then you have Alexandra Pantoja versus Brandon Roval. So there's two championship bouts. Then you have Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque versus Ian Machado Gary. This is a good card. Josh Emmett versus Giga. This is a good card. Alonzo Manifield versus Dustin Jacoby. That's going to be a good fight. Heavyweight, not so much. It's not a bad card, not a bad fight. Martin Buday versus Shamil Gaziev. No, so this is already a good card. You already got two belts on the line. It's not going to happen in December, I don't think. That's my opinion. Please let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Um, like I said, Almeida's at 107 kilos, and Lewis is 120 kilograms. So it's significantly smaller, like significantly lighter, I'd say. But at heavyweight, I do think that an athletic, fast guy like Almeida, it will help him. It will help him. Um, Ofon says, one thing I'm at a loss for besides Oliveira, who's there for Islam except maybe Sarukian, who is at least 1 and 2 fights away from a title shot. But the thing with lightweight, there's always guys. You know what I mean? You'll get a guy like Darius who'll win a couple of fights in a row, and he'll be right there as well. So, and Darius is good. So I'm not too concerned for the lightweights because there's a lot of people that live in that division. You know, like that are around that weight in the world. It's not like heavyweights where they're reasonably rare to have good heavyweights. But now having 3 or 4, 5 guys, it'll be interesting. Like I said, Cooper Marin says, he's been at heavyweight for a while, though, so he may be bulking up now. If you're 110 kilograms, around that 110 kilo weight, and you're athletic and you move well, then you'll do well at heavyweight. You don't have to be super massive. It's still, 230, 240 pounds. Maybe a little bit less, but you'll still do well. Generally, the lighter the division, the more skilled the guy's up. So if you have a good light heavyweight that goes up and he has the size to be a heavyweight, he'll generally do pretty well. Greatest Adventurer says, if Almeida wins, you have a lot of matchmaking options. Lewis wins and it's a bunch of rematches. Unless Aspinall loses, then you could do that, I guess. Agreed. Pantoja is so exciting. Agreed. Cooper Marin says, Jailton about to knock himself out before the fight. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take those shots. Ofon says 14-fight win streak. Coma says, no problem. Volk will go to heavyweight and fight for the title. Cooper Marin says, I just worry Dalton may gas himself since Derek is so strong. He's not using his speed and lower weight like Aspinall or Ghani. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Greatest Adventurer says, no way Strickland fights in December, right? Maybe early 2024. Should be against DDP. Chimaev's hand is hurt or whatever anyway. So just give it to the rightful contender. I agree. I don't see him fighting in December. Like, I don't see them putting 3 belts on the line in December when, you're going to need that early in the year when the cards are a little bit lighter. Ofon says, kind of funny how Islam's first 2 title defenses are against a natural featherweight, though. I think credit to him, dude, because in fairness, like, the risk was more on him had he lost to Alex. Ofon says, maybe Almeida fights Garn next for a title eliminator after the interim belt winner. There's another guy. I forgot about Garn. It's heavyweight is more interesting now than it has been for a long time, in my opinion. And if Francis was still there, that would have been interesting because he would have had like 4 or 5 legit guys to compete against. None less than John Jones, who that fight would, I think, blow the roof off. Everyone would want to see that fight. Ofon says, I heard they tried to get Strickland to fight Chimaev on a short notice fight. That was rumored, yeah. So I wouldn't have taken that fight either if I was Strickland, as in like to make that fight on short notice. I don't think it'll be that easy of a fight for Chimaev. I think that if Strickland can survive those first 7 minutes, it'll start to become a harder fight for Chimaev, in my opinion. Ofon says, I hated how Francis basically got sidelined during the Stipe versus DC trilogy. That was a tough one as well. It's funny how history plays out. Like, DC versus Francis might have been a different situation altogether. All right. We're about to kick off here. No more speculating. Man, Derek Lewis is a scary, scary individual. Ofon says, damn, Almeida looks big. He's definitely athletic, They're about to touch gloves. They touch gloves, both men in the orthodox stance. Lewis is significantly bigger than Almeida. Almeida's already looking to change levels and go for this double leg. You can see the way, just even the way he's like hopping being back and forwards, up nice and high. I can predict a level change there. Left high kick by Almeida. There's a level change. He got in nice and low. He's looking to run the pipe on that single leg, pushes Lewis up against the cage. Nice double leg by Almeida, straight into side control. Another big thing with the heavyweight is you want him to move. See, this is what he does with the right. If anyone's watching the trains with us, this is what I talk about. Almeida did that with his right leg straight behind the legs of Lewis. It switches his hips and doesn't let him get up from that position. See how he's not like all the way over to on side control. Now he's in mount early on. And he's landing good little bit of ground and pound there on Lewis. Takes his back, sinks the hooks in. Great work here by, stretches him out. Looking for the head arm choke. I don't know if he's going to be in the position to do it just simply because of the cage being there. If he's going to be able to really maneuver his body. Now he's away from the cage. He's in a really good position here. He's in a really, really good position. I don't know if Lewis has gills or something. Lewis just pushed his arm down. Lewis just pushed his arm down. Said, no. None of these silly head arm chokes on me, mate. I'm just going to move my arm down. And he did that and did a fantastic job of doing that. It's something you will not learn in jiu-jitsu class. That the high kick to double leg is really good work from the guys that want to grapple. You see Hamzat do that as well. Bo Nickel kind of does it, but he hasn't got it down pat yet. Cooper Marin says Lewis is too strong. He is, but Almeida's smart. Almeida's not forcing anything. He's just staying in mount with Lewis, fighting Lewis's arms, landing some body shots. He's just keeping them out. And then when Lewis tries to roll, he takes the back. Now he has to try and stretch Lewis out and not lose position. He takes it back. Now, I was going to say, Almeida's taken Lewis's back. He just doesn't want Lewis on top of him. Because even though the jiu-jitsu is way better from Almeida, if Lewis gets on top and lands one bomb, it's going to make your life, it's going to make you wish you took up golf, man. And there we go. Exactly what I said. Lewis gets on top. He's landing some bombs, but Almeida does a great job of getting Lewis back down to the ground and taking mount. I love this Texan, the Texan guard that he's got. Zero guard, man. Zero guard. Just take mount, mate. Take mount. I don't want to lose my my thing. Nah, but Cooper, when you're saying he's got toddler ground and pound, you got to remember what he's doing is keeping that position. More than anything, he's keeping the position. This gasses out Lewis. Lewis has to hold on to him, the isometric contraction of holding on and trying to defend his positions. Ophon says, isn't it funny how middleweight seemed to be only Whitaker and Adesanya head and shoulders above everyone else without being too many contenders for a title shot? Yeah, but you got to remember, dude, that sometimes you don't see people fight each other. Like people are written Strickland off, for example, that, okay, he can't beat them or whatever. Or there's other guys in there. And sometimes you can beat everyone, but somebody there has just a bad matchup for you, Now, Almeida has the head arm in pretty tight and he's off to the side and he's away from the cage. And see how he's staying in that half guard? That basically keeps him pinned. We were going over this the other day, Harry DeLuca, if you're watching this. This is exactly what we were talking about the other day. That's just keeping him pinned. He's doing a great job. Even if Lewis defends this just by being absurdly strong, which he did, Almeida still keeping him pinned. There's 47 seconds to go. Lewis is absurdly strong, but it's still taking a huge amount of energy for him to just withstand this and to fight the head arm chokes and to fight, these positions from Almeida. What Almeida's doing here is he's letting his arms go down on letting gravity take his arms down, and Lewis is having to hold and control the arms. It takes it out of you, man. It takes those some isometric contractions, take it out of you a lot. Now he's standing up. Is Almeida. Almeida goes to take the back. He shoots another. That was unnecessary use of energy from Almeida, I do believe. And he takes Lewis down again. That was a little bit too much energy for him. He could have thing. Cooper Marion says he would murder me for sure. Just always looks a little funny to me. Like, yeah, you're going hard with the hammer fists. Harry DeLuca says, yeah, he would have gassed him this round for sure. Yeah, man. But it's a hell of a lot of effort to hold down a monster like Derek Lewis as well. You got to understand that. Derek Lewis is like a huge, strong guy. And the problem with that as well is that he will make you pay if he lands a shot on you. He will definitely make you pay. How much this is taken out of his shots? Harry DeLuca says, can you explain the high kick to the double leg again? Well, he throws a high kick. And if he lands it on you, you're going down, but it forces you to cover up. And so then from that motion, he just shoots a double leg straight away. So you can't just take a high kick flush. So he throws a high kick, and then from that motion, boom, drops his level and shoots. We're back in the middle, 56, 55, 54, 53. Lewis fakes on an uppercut. And there's legit genuine fear when you're facing someone like Lewis that he can land big shots on you as you're coming in, and you're not going to get a second shot at it. He's going to put you to sleep. I think Almeida needs to get this fight to the ground. He'll throw this left high kick and he'll shoot the double leg again. I definitely think he'll do that again. I think he wasted a little bit of energy at the end of that last round with Lewis. Oh, yeah. Nice double leg by Almeida. So Lewis goes looking for a big right hand, and Almeida just switches levels and gets a takedown. He's tying up Lewis's legs. So as long as he keeps Lewis's feet higher than the hips, it's going to be hard for Lewis to use them at all. But now Almeida has switched to something else. He's got a body lock here on Lewis, and he's just very, very smart. He's not rushing. See, he's not rushing to get to the neck. He's not rushing to do anything. He's just at each point at each position, he cements it, and then he moves forward. That's really, 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 really smart grappling from Almeida. And again, he goes looking for this head arm choke. There's only so many times Lewis is going to be able to get out of this like that. And Almeida's smart as well. Like, he's making Lewis use the strength to get out, and he doesn't like fight that position. He doesn't go, okay, I'm really going to keep going. Yeah, he does a good job turning the corner, Cooper Marion, but he also has a really, really impressive level change. There's no way of Lewis winning a decision here either in this fight, So if he survives this round and goes to a KO, it'll goes to a third round. It's going to have to be a KO. Harry DeLuca says, I saw someone on YouTube yesterday making fun of Almeida's takedown, saying there's no way he could get Lewis with it. I don't know why you'd say that. He's got really good level change, and he's an athletic guy with really good jiu-jitsu that can hit hard. So I don't know why you'd say that. He might not be a classical wrestler. He's not necessarily like the best wrestler around, but I don't think that he looks bad. Cooper Marion says, this looks like a kid out grappling his dad with the weight difference. Yeah. But like I'm saying, Tiz, I said this to you before, 110 kilo athletic guy, 6'4", 110 kilo athletic guy is a huge man. He's a huge, strong man. And that's what Almeida is. So the weight difference is not a huge thing at heavyweight in this scenario. I'm just watching this now, and Almeida's taken the back, and he's got like a face crank thing on him, and Lewis must be absurdly strong. You know what I think when I look at Lewis? I think, dude, if people can't tap you like this, imagine if you were actually really good at jiu-jitsu. You'd be like ADCC champion. You'd be UFC champion as well, because this dude can't tap you in these positions. Like, it's absurd. Now he's got both hooks in. He's got him flattened out. And Lewis is still defending. He's got this face crank in deep. Lewis defends it. Defends it. Just couldn't. He couldn't finish him. He's got this choke / face crank on under the neck. Lewis defends it. 44 seconds to go. You've got the hip lock on him so that it's basically the same as having both your hooks in. Very similar. 32 seconds to go. The referee started him, and Lewis grabbed both. Got a 2-on-1 straight away. Jailton hitting the body of Lewis and the head. Those body shots, man, they add up. Trust me, especially in these positions where you're finding it hard to breathe already. I would strongly suggest that Jailton hits the body there because you're already laboriously trying to breathe with a big, strong dude like that grabbing your back. So these shots, they take their toll, man. They definitely take their toll. Cooper Marin says Derek just makes huge men look average, just kind of puts it in perspective, I guess. Yeah, they're huge people, man. Greatest Adventurer says, watch Almeida do all this to get knocked out in the next round. That's a big problem with it. Honestly, that's a big problem. Harry DeLuca says, Lewis's head was reinforced at a young age to withstand these sorts of situations. Ophon says, look at the moths flying around on the canvas. Now it's going to, he needs to get this guy down in the third. But if he gets him down once, I don't see Lewis being able to get up either, you know. Those body shots, they hurt, man. They take a lot of the breath out of you. You need a lot of breath. You need a lot of effort and a lot of energy to be able to get up from the bottom and to be able to move. Almeida looks like he was on his way to a natural bodybuilding contest and then stopped and had a fight with Lewis. Lewis, on the other hand, looks like he was on the way to a strongman contest and stopped to have this fight. And so we're about to kick off now. Third round, they touch hands, and we're off. Lewis goes with a flying switch knee. I don't know if he tagged him with one of those hands. He might have tagged him. Oh, he just missed on an uppercut. Now he started to swing for Almeida's body. Almeida better get this fight to the ground. He's going to be in trouble. He looks for a body lock. Lewis has got the double underhooks. No, he's got the over-unders. Lewis with a takedown with the old Texas judo foot sweep. But Almeida ends up scrambling and getting on top. There is the problem, mate. Therein lies the problem. Wow. And Lewis always makes these fights interesting with 4:20 to go. Almeida's in the position that he wants to be in. I cannot tell if he's in mount or in half guard. I can't tell. I think he's in mount. And here he has to just... I wouldn't even be too about trying to finish this fight. He just has to just stay there and win the fight. Because he's definitely won the first 2 rounds. There's no even a remote question of that. See, you know when people talk about robberies... Let's say this fight goes like this the whole 3, or even Lewis wins this round somehow, but doesn't knock him out. If you gave this fight to anyone other than Almeida, this is a robbery. That would be a robbery. Not a close fight that went the other way that you think. But yeah, that was close, man. That was close. He's very smart, Almeida. It might not look exciting. It might not be. He doesn't want to lose his position here, though, Almeida. This is a big thing, you know. You don't want to lose your position. You have mount. You got him up against the cage. Lewis hasn't got good hips anyways. Here we go. Lewis switches. Oh, Almeida's on his back. Almeida's on his back. Lewis is going to land some ground and pound. Almeida looks tired. Oh, Lewis lands a shot on Almeida. Almeida's in trouble. Almeida looks for a half guard. He's looking for like an old school sweep here. He's looking for the old school sweep. Is he going to be able to do it? He's looking for a deep half. He's got deep half now. He switches from an old school sweep to a deep half guard. Can Lewis ride it out? Lewis is doing a good job. He has the whiz up, but Almeida once again goes looking. They're in the dogfight position now. With Almeida looking, he's going to get it. He got the sweep. Almeida, oh, man. My Lord. Almeida just made it exciting. When he lost that position, you don't want Lewis on top of you like that. You do not want Lewis on top of you. Lewis is definitely fatigued, though. He's not even trying to hold Almeida. Almeida's fatigued. Almeida's very tired here. You can tell that he doesn't even want that position, like where he has to roll and take the back and could potentially land on the bottom. He just wants to stay here, which is a smart thing to do. Again, is it the most exciting thing in the world? No, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's not his job to be. It's his job to win fights, and he's doing a great job. Nice work by Almeida. Cooper Marion says Almeida is going to pull the grappling equivalent of the Volkov fight and get pounded out in the last few seconds. Greatest adventurer, ref might stand them up. I don't know, guys. You can't stand up someone up like this from Mount. You can't. Mount is like, yeah, you shouldn't. You have to be like, I don't know, it'd have to be like Lewis's dad or something to be reffing to do that. Good ground and pound now starting to land by Almeida. Let's see some big shots starting to land. Good shots by Almeida. Almeida once again goes looking for this choke. Smart. He's sitting back a little bit so as not to get rolled. So he hasn't got his weight on Lewis there. Good job by Lewis to just change positions. But Almeida, fantastic job to keep the top position. Well done, Almeida. 37 seconds to go. Almeida's fatigued, man. It would be hard holding that monster down. Guys, join me on the live stream that I'm going to do next, which is going to be the reaction. Tell me what you guys think of this fight. One not big ground and pound starting to land by Almeida. Big ones. 7 seconds to go. Almeida, do not let go of this monster because this guy can knock you out with one shot. 3, 2, 1. That's the wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Now, should Lewis get this decision win, this is a robbery. Greatest Adventurer says he keeps warning them. I don't know how you can warn someone when they're in mount. This is stupid. The onus is on Lewis to get up. You know, the onus is on Lewis to get up, not on Almeida. You know. But you know what? I mean, I remembered it, but I forgot. Like as I'm watching this fight, it's 5 rounds. It's 5 rounds. So this is a big problem because Lewis will be Almeida's tired, man. Almeida's tired as well. Almeida's tired as well. We're about to start, guys. There is jacked, this dude, man. He's so jacked. They're about to touch hands. They touch hands again. This is now the 4th round. Almeida is definitely feeling it. I don't know, like Lewis. Nice leg kick lands by Almeida. Almeida needs his takedown so bad. I forgot, like I was watching the fight and I forgot that it was 5 rounds. He's going to go left high kick and he's going to go double leg. Do it, Almeida. Do it. He dives in. He gets it. He's got the double leg. Lewis lands some shots. Defend the takedown, Lewis. Defend it. Defend it. No, he doesn't. Well done, Almeida. Well done. Now Almeida is in mount once again. I don't know, like, and his coaches aren't dumb. You know, his coaches aren't dumb. So I wonder what the training camp looks like for Lewis because he knows the dude's going to take him down. So I don't know what the training camp must look like. Great movement by Almeida. from the top there. I don't know if he just does a lot of bench pressing. I don't know. I don't know what he does. Um, Cooper Merritt says, that's why I feel the Volkov thing could happen. First 5 rounder for Jailton and could get interesting. Yeah, no, 100%. And like, whilst it's more taxing for Lewis, it's really taxing for Jailton. You know what I mean? To hold this guy down. It's way worse for Lewis, believe me. Cooper Marion says he finally switched up, just shot, no head kick. That's true. Yeah, I definitely think this position is better against someone like Lewis. This kind of like Turk ride half guard thing is better because when Jailton is on top of Lewis in full mount, Lewis has the opportunity to move, give him his back, and he hasn't been able to choke Lewis. And then Lewis can turn and Almeida can lose a position. Whereas from here, he can pretty much keep Lewis pinned for the whole round with no real danger for Lewis. Now he's got a wrist ride on the far side, and I'd like to see him just land some ground pound. Yeah. Don't even worry about yeah. So he's back to mount. Mount just requires you to keep a little bit of that. See, that's the problem with the mount here with Lewis. You know, now, yeah, Jailton just wants to end up on top. Lewis has just got that X factor that if you end up on the bottom, he only needs to land 1 or 2 shots. Jailton's in deep with his choke, it seems, but Lewis, I don't know. He just doesn't seem to tap to him. Cooper Marion says, feel like the head and arm choke is ripe at this point in the fight. Yeah, but I don't know how much Jailton has left in his arms as well, or how much he wants to expend on this choke, knowing that there's a solid 6 minutes to go in this fight, which is a long time. So at this point, doing what he's doing is the right thing for Jailton Almeida. This the guard passing stuff, takes it out of you as well for the person defending the guard pass, i.e. Lewis in this case. Oh, nice little left hand landed by Almeida. You just see is just leaving the head arm. He's not really going for it anymore. This isometric contraction by Derek Lewis, where he's holding on, this takes it out of you. This takes it out of you a lot. And Almeida's just beaten him to the positions by far now, by far. Lewis is absolutely fatigued. There's 30 seconds to go, and he's starting to land ground and pound again, is Almeida. This is definitely taking it out of Lewis. But that isometric hold now from Almeida, if he's using too much upper body, takes it out of your hands and makes it hard for you to be able to punch as the fight progresses. The more hips and legs you can use for your control, especially when there's ground and pound and fighting involved, the better it is for you. The more upper body you use, the harder it is for you. You're going to gas worse. And now there's 5 minutes to go. And these first 3 or 4 minutes are horrible for anyone that has to fight a Derek Lewis. Guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friends. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing this time with me because I have a great time doing this podcast. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Just curious to see how this fight's going to play out. The first 5 minutes are insane. Like the first 5 minutes, the first 40 seconds of each of these rounds is crazy, with Lewis and Almeida. We're about to start again. Almeida's pumping up the crowd. Lewis looks like something out of a nightmare, dude. They're about to touch gloves in the center again. Double glove touch, a high five, and a hug. Not necessarily in that order. Lewis's shots are looking a little bit more laborious at the moment. Nice low kick landed by Almeida, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38. Lewis goes looking for the mother of all uppercuts, just misses it as Almeida shoots a single, then switches to a double. Defend the takedown, Lewis. Defend it. Lewis is landing some ground and pound on the side of Almeida's head. Almeida's turning it into a snatch single. Then he's running the pipe. Now he's changed it, got the body lock. He's got the body lock, and Lewis is defending it. Now Lewis with his underhook pushes Almeida up against the cage. Now, Almeida, for the first time in this fight, has faced resistance from Lewis. Lewis goes looking for another Texas judo sweep against the cage. Almeida's definitely fatigued. Almeida's switches to a double leg again. Lewis is defending the double leg and he gets taken down. Lewis, why would you do anything other than defend the takedown? You know this is what this guy's going to do. 3:46 to go in this fifth and final round. I do not see Lewis getting up from the bottom. Cooper Marion says this chain wrestling is insane for a heavyweight. Absolutely. That's why I don't understand why people would criticize his wrestling, you know? Like, it's not bad. No one said he's going to win worlds, but he's a big, strong guy with good striking and brilliant jiu-jitsu at heavyweight. He's a problem, mate. He's a problem. Is he going to be the world champion? I don't know, but he's definitely good enough to give some guys problems in this division. Three minutes to go in this round. Joseph says, can't wait till Mike Bell gives this decision to Derek Lewis. Oh, mate. Joseph, you need to let Mike Bell go, mate. You need to let him go. Jailton Almeida with some good ground and pound goes looking for a wrist ride. Lewis goes back onto his back. There's 2:43 to go in this fifth and final round. There have been some exciting moments thanks to Lewis. Greatest Adventure says, Goddard just said work. You're just holding position. Work. Yeah, Goddard should try and hold Lewis down. Cooper Marion says you don't have to have a Brock Lesnar level or pretty double leg shot to be good wrestler for the division. I agree. If you don't understand what's happening here, dude, like the guy's not just holding position, which wouldn't be easy to do anyways. He's won a superior position where it's very hard for the other guy to defend. So from here, you're getting much closer to finishing the fight. That's like if you're, it's you can't tell this guy, he's done his part. It's on Derek Lewis to get up. You can't, if you say you can't reward the guy for just holding mount, you can't reward the guy that got mounted. You can't reward, that's so crazy that you're going to reward the guy that got mounted. He did less than the guy that mounted him. So anything from this position here, it's on Lewis to get up, not on Almeida to do, you know. So there's 1:22 to go. Body head by Almeida, doing a fantastic job. Cooper Marion says, I feel like Derek Lewis could probably hip bump me out of the cage. Yeah, easily. Easily. I can assure you he could. 103, 102, 101. There's 1 minute to go. Oh, Lewis gets up. He used the underhook to get up. Almeida's looking for a double leg. There's 50 seconds to go. Almeida gets it again. And Lewis is flat on his back. That's the end of this fight, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe. That was Lewis's last hurrah. He's absolutely exhausted. He's flat on his back. Almeida passes his guard. 26 seconds to go. 20 seconds to go. Okay. And again, with another takedown. Lewis did a great job getting up, though. I'll give him that. If they give this fight to Derek Lewis, that, my friends, would be a robbery. Guys, that was a really, really cool card. Thank you. It wasn't a really cool card. It wasn't the best card, but I had fun calling it with you guys. Blades, man, he's a good fighter. Man, this is going to be interesting. Guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump off, and then I'm going to jump on in a little bit to do the reactions. So, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please join me hit the notification bell, hit the like, subscribe, and I'm going to go and give the reaction to the whole card later later today, not long from now. Guys, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it very, very much. And I do believe that Jailton probably has the biggest pump of anyone other than Romero ever. So, guys, thank you very much. Please join me when we do the reaction. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.